has seen the same story on this app 30,000 times at least. Like every single one of them have said the same story, done the same song and dance. And ever since that girl unalived herself a few weeks ago, every single beggar on this app has played that same card.
They never even heard of Rizzy before. Don't have a clue who she is. Wouldn't have paid her 2 seconds of attention. But since that made international news, now all of them. And then do you hear what he said? He actually said that he knows for a fact that people who have unalived themselves because of awareness. And when I asked him to say be specific, who? Because I haven't heard of a single person. And if there's somebody that I covered that unalived themselves based on what I've ever said and done, I would feel horrible because my goal isn't to bully. But he, of course, let that go right by. And let me just say one other thing about mental health. I am very honest about the fact that I take medication, I have a therapist, and I have a psychiatrist. Okay.
Me too. How many
very
times
open about it. And so when I watch,
you guys heard me say the same exact thing.
So when I watch somebody utilize something as devastating as unaliving themselves when they can't get what they want, when they're not comfortable based on a bad decision they made, I'm sorry, it incenses me because I felt that bad one time. And I didn't come to TikTok and say, you know what? I think that because my boyfriend broke up with me and I have this mental health issue, I'm just going to take it. I had to have a plan in place with family members so that all I had to say was nice and they knew what that meant, and then they called 911 for me. So when I watch somebody throw it around when things aren't going their way or when they're not getting the amount of money, don't you find it convenient that he managed to stop right next door to a hotel and a restaurant? Because how'd you end up there?
You can ask anybody who knows me. I am a huge mental health advocate on this.
As am I.
I say it to everyone. You are not alone. You are wanted. You are needed. You are loved. And my inbox is open to anyone who ever hears my voice on here. I will talk to them about anything till they're blue in the face. I do not care. I am a huge proponent for mental health on this app. From day one, because I have my mental health struggles. I am manic depressive. I do have PTSD, and nobody's on their own. And I tell everybody, I've had people tell me, well, I'm a nobody on this app. And I'm like, no, man, nobody's a nobody.
That's
Everybody's somebody to someone.
That's right. Everybody is somebody to somebody. And no, I didn't have his whole history. And there's no way I could get his whole history because he only messaged me this afternoon.
I take it very, very seriously.
As do I, because my best friend, since I've been in the 4th grade, committed suicide. Now, that's not the same as a family member, but she was family by choice for me. So and she had talked about it, and she did get help, and she did talk about it. But she had a strong family around her. And Digital was lucky that she had a strong family around her. I have no idea who he has.
I feel better now.
I can see what you're all are saying. All I'm saying is that
say something, awareness.
Kindness doesn't cost us anything. We don't have to make
doesn't either. The truth doesn't either.
And they don't have to be mutually exclusive. Why do they have to be one or the other?
I didn't say that they had to be one or the other. I'm saying you don't get to say kindness is free and it costs nothing, but the truth does too. And I'm not going to allow kindness to overtake a lie. If it's a lie, if it's not true, if it's not serving the people and their money, I'm not going to allow one to be more important than the other. They're equal.
Here's another thing I always say.
I'm waiting my turn. It's okay.
I'm sorry, Skittle.
No. You guys go ahead. It's okay.
These people on here, like they talk bad about us and say, we're doing these horrible things. And I ask the people that are in there that are enabling them, who's asking who for money? What am I asking you for? Like, why am I going through the trouble? I'm not asking you for anything. I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to save you your money and your pain, and you going through all this BS with these beggars and scammers. I'm not asking for a dime. I want nothing from you. Like, I'm doing it out of the kindness of my heart. I'm not getting paid for it. I'm taking time away from other things I could be doing to try to save these people money and the pain and the agony, because I've seen a lady on this app give these beggars and scammers so much money that she literally faked her own unaliving. Am I lying, Jeff?
No, I
No.
remember that so vividly. And that was very disheartening.
Tens of thousands of dollars they got that lady for.
Oh, I absolutely believe there are scammers. He
Can I?
could be a
Can I?
scammer. I didn't have enough time to research it. I reached out to Allforone and
Right.
said, this is what he's saying. Can you help me with this? Because I don't know how to handle that. But I would
Right.
like to ask each of you, can you sit there and tell me that you have never seen somebody in awareness bullying somebody else?
Absolutely.
Hold
we're
on,
getting
wait, wait,
way
wait,
out.
wait,
No,
wait,
no,
wait.
I
But wait,
have.
wait,
I
wait.
have
Before
very
we
Way off
recently
answer
because I've
track.
been
that,
the one that's been
let
bullied.
Skittles say what she wanted to say
I'd like to talk
before
after
we
her, please.
move.
No, go
Before we
ahead,
move
Analog,
on.
because I'm
No,
gonna
no,
wait till the.
no. You've been waiting first.
No.
You
Yeah,
first.
go ahead. You've been waiting patiently, Skittle. Please.
Okay, so awareness T, can I ask you a serious
Sure.
question? How is it okay for him to sit over there and say everything that he has said about me and all of the people in the chat? Put a 1 in the chat if you've messaged me asking me about my safety. How is it okay?
It is
But then
not okay.
no, hold on. It's
It's
considering
not.
bully when I do it.
No.
You want to know why I do this? Because I donated Tim Nash over $200 because he claimed that he had cancer, when in fact I'm the one that has non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. I'm the one that has to go sit in that chair once a month for 3 hours and get poison pumped into my veins. Do I ask for money? No. Am I ever going to ask for money? No. I may joke with Dre telling him, hey, give me $20, but it's a joke. If
That's
you're
why
so
I
worried
told
about
you.
his mental health, ask him where he is and you call the police for yourself. I don't need to do
He's
anything.
not going to tell me where
Well, then
he's
why do you expect us to do it?
Because I thought maybe one of you would know where he was. Somebody
He doesn't
told me
tell
I
us.
should call
He
the
blocks
police.
us immediately and then talks shit about us afterward.
If I knew where he was, I would call the police. And I think you should call the police.
I don't need to call any police because fuck it'll tell you I'm the wrong one. I fired 30 shots yesterday and I missed one. He'd be wrong to even think about coming to my house.
Well, I don't. He's on foot. You said you're on the opposite coast.
Yeah,
What
exactly.
Do you think he's
I'm not
gonna
worried
do?
about him.
Imitate the monks and get there? But you
I
should
mean, he
file
might.
a
The
report
monks
so
take it
that the
fucking far.
next
Those are
person
actually-
that's threatened.
Those are pretty
Time
accurate.
out. Time out. Time out. Time out.
Yeah, let's
Everyone here needs to take a breath and understand that too much of this conversation is going towards our individual opinions and our individual feelings on how things are, and they're overlooking the overarching issue here. It's not about what we might feel, what we might do, what we think, and all that. It's about the generalization of the issue here. When we start inserting our own feelings and emotions, all we're going to
You're
do
right.
is turn that back into ourselves.
You're very
What
right.
we need to focus on here is the fact that him as a person, as a functional adult, as someone who makes the contract of getting on TikTok and doing his thing, he subscribes to the terms of service. Therefore, he is beholden to them. He is going against them by making up stories, manipulating people through carefully curated stories, carefully curated conversations.
And that's
He
why
has an
awareness exists, for you
Time
to
out.
educate people on
I
that.
let you talk. I let you talk. Let me
I'm
finish.
agreeing with you. I'm
Okay.
agreeing with you. Awareness has a purpose. It just doesn't have to be. You don't have to comment about somebody's weight or what they look like.
You're taking
None
this
of
into
that.
a complete different realm. Let me finish it.
That's why Analog's my boy. That's
I
why
love
he's
Analog. Analog
he's
and
my
fucking
buddy.
and
I need
Genuine
to
Seavers. You
follow
guys are
him.
fucking angels.
Yeah, absolutely. Analog's a really good, solid dude.
The-
I'm glad he's my friend for
Keep
real.
going.
The
I
whole
want to
purpose
hear the
here
rest.
everybody talks about awareness and this and that. And yes, you are right. There are awareness creators that literally do this just to get attention from themselves, and they should be meted out and dealt with separately to this issue. The whole point
I
here,
agree.
the whole point here is that when you start looking at this from the lens of your own self, you're going to insert yourself into this, and that is when the argument falls flat. What needs to be done here is you have to look at it from the overarching generalized perspective. He is manipulating. He is giving false reasons for why he needs money, which is by itself on the face theft by deception. He is coming up with excuses literally a half a second after the question is not even finished, which also denotes that he's curating his answers. He has an excuse for everything. He immediately gets hostile to any woman that is talking to him that is not co-signing him, and then he will turn around and be an absolute angel to someone like you who is being kind to him. And I'm telling you, I
Oh
agree with
no,
you
he
in
has
terms of.
not been an angel to me. No, he has not been an angel to me. No.
Okay,
He's
that's fine.
manipulating you.
That's fine. He's manipulating you. He told you what he knew would get you to respond in a compassionate way because you're exhibiting compassion, and I applaud you for that. But the point here is that you cannot put forth 100% compassion without conditions for said compassion, because without conditions, you cannot exist. That's anarchism. So what I'm saying here is that this guy needs to take a long and hard look at himself and the reasons for what he is doing, and he needs to address those things before he even thinks about getting into the public square, which TikTok is the digital version of a public square in the past. There are standards, there are ethics, and there are rules of decorum in society that you have to follow. And when your whole game is to essentially game those rules and to manipulate people through language that you know is going to entice the response that you want, you've lost. And the point here is that this man is willingly and willfully deceiving people. He is making excuses for every action that he puts forth. He does not listen to anyone that is providing him a platform to air out his grievances and everything. He will then turn around and turn it right back on them. He deflects everything that he does back onto people. That is a textbook version of denial. And the issue here is that until he can rectify that within himself and understand that, hey, I am wrong, I am making a mistake, I need to fix this, this whole conversation goes nowhere. Because we
Correct.
can speak to hours and hours till we're blue in the face, but until that changes, nothing will change. And the whole point here is unless he is held accountable for the things that he is doing, he will continue to do this. He openly advocated for a week of not being held accountable by TikTok and people here so he can quote unquote get his shit together. I'm sorry, but no, that was just advocating for an amnesty week for him to do whatever he wants.
That's
And he
exactly
came
what
up here on
I
a big
pointed that
platform
out.
to
I
be
pointed it out.
exposed.
Wait, though.
I
No, he was
pointed it out.
looking for additional people to join him to
Well, yeah,
follow
that's what I
him.
mean. He came up
Right.
on one of the biggest platforms so that he could be seen.
Correct. And
And I
Allforone
do
gets
want
used
to,
like
I
that
want to
all the
interject real
time.
quick with everyone. My real question that I have to step back and ask, if he felt that he was having problems or issues, why didn't he just get off the live and make the phone call himself?
Because he doesn't want to, because he doesn't actually have any
Because
issues.
he wanted that sympathy
He
from
wanted
her.
notoriety and fame.
The next time someone comes to you and they're saying they're having a mental health crisis, 988 is free. It's available.
Yep.
It is there whether you have
Yep.
service or not.
And it's nationwide too.
And what does that do?
That's for
They
mental
get to
health.
speak
It's
to
a suicide
someone
hotline.
that's a mental
Yep.
health professional.
I actually have a website on my page for mental health
All right.
awareness.
But I'm
If they
saying,
leak
what
someone
can
else's
I
private
do?
messages,
Tell
don't
them to
assume
call
you're safe.
988.
And if they gossip
And
with
I
you
call
about others,
988,
they're
and what do I
gossiping about
say?
you.
No. You tell the
No.
person to call 988.
Oh,
Yes,
And
he would
they
have to
this
call them.
this person doesn't think they have a problem, as
Well,
do many people
Allforone,
that
check your
actually have a
messages.
problem.
Okay.
right,
And
and see,
I can't.
When you get off, I
Can
just
I
sent
just
you a
answer
post
your
that our lovely
question real
awareness
quick?
team made.
I'm
You
sorry, I couldn't hear
asked.
you.
Oh, I'm sorry. You asked, have we not seen it? Of course we have. Of course we've seen it. But my focus, and I, when I see it and I don't like it, I've said something. I don't always do it on my public platform, but if I see something I don't like and it's someone that I value, I absolutely will say something. I am also, though, not so dense, and I'm talking about myself, that I don't recognize the good that is also being
I
done.
mean, there is some bullying that goes on
Absolutely.
this
Oh
app,
yeah.
Oh
but
yeah,
I
In
some
can
of these
every
awareness
guarantee you,
people are
category.
ruthless. They
I
really
can
are.
guarantee you one thing, that me or the people that I associate with, that would never happen. And Skittles and Analog have seen me be in a box when I thought something crossed the line, and I
Oh,
spoke about
absolutely.
it
He's the first person that'll say
immediately.
something when he sees something, and I
Immediately.
love him.
I mean, that's all I'm. Look, y'all do awareness. You educate the people on the scams, on the frauds, on whatever. What I do is call out the bullying. That's all I do.
No, you're in the wrong
But it would
places. We don't
also
bully
be
people.
helpful
I
if
have.
you
I will
also
stop if I see
called out the
something.
scammers as well, because one of the reasons why he went to you is because he thought you had the pulse on all of awareness, that you could create some sort of a change, because he wants us to go away. You have
Mm-hmm.
created in yourself the person that people who are scammers think they can come to check us.
But I mean, holding somebody accountable for their shitty
Well, if you
actions
bully a scammer, I am
isn't
going to
bullying.
check you. I don't
Well, I
care
mean,
who the person is. No
absolutely.
one deserves to be bullied. Tim
By
Nash
all
doesn't
means, if
deserve to be
you
bullied. Tim and
if you
Angela don't deserve to be called obese. They don't deserve to have their job called. They
They
just
don't.
don't.
But when you
if you
say,
see
oh,
something like that, by all means, call it out. By
right,
He
all means.
contacted me because he thought that I was the Lord of awareness and that I could get all of awareness to agree to come to a truce. And I had to explain to him, no, that is not. No one can do that.
No.
Which is why I stated in the live earlier, I can't control, and nobody else can control what videos that are being put out.
exactly.
No, but I mean, I do have friends in awareness, and I mean, if if he was, yeah, that I could go to, and if I seen where he was acting right, like me and my group that I hang out with every day, if he wasn't asking people or dry begging on this app, we have no reason to cover you. We have no reason to bother you at
Right.
all. If he
Right.
just came on and did a battle, he wouldn't even know who we were.
Have
Right.
fun.
You
We
made a
don't
very
pick
good
on
point.
people.
You made a very good point. And if I'm not sent screenshots of people being bullied by awareness, I won't have to exist, which is what I would really like.
I
That's
would
all
just
I want.
appreciate if you would also at the same time, and again, this is your platform, you can do exactly what you want.
Good night,
But
guys. You all
it
have been amazing. I
it
love you. I
would
really
be
got to go to bed.
awesome is if you could
Right.
also make it
Talk to you
clear
later
that the
tonight.
people who get covered are scammers, beggars, liars, and manipulators, and that there are people that the community can go
No,
to
not
get
everyone that
facts.
no, not everyone that I cover is a scammer, liar, or a
I
beggar.
didn't say that they all were. I'm not suggesting that. I'm just saying that I'm asking for balance. That's it. And then one final thing. First of all, Analog, I am so glad that I heard you. You have turned on my intellectual brain, because sometimes we get so far down in the weeds of it that we forget the greater purpose, the greater good. When you
Mm-hmm.
spend so much time analyzing this behavior, doing research, looking it up, trying to always stand on the side of right, even though we are all imperfect human beings. We are all gonna make mistakes. And for me, it's about being able to stand up and apologize and say, yep, I'm not gonna get it right all the time. I might say the wrong thing. I might go too far. I might make mistakes, but I'm willing to hold myself accountable and say, you know what? I didn't get it right. And I apologize. And I just apologize to the entire trans community because of some of the things that I said about Bella, even though she took me there. It still wasn't right. So I apologize. As
I agree.
as long as we can hold ourselves accountable and recognize, and then Again, if I'm your friend, then I can tell you, you know what? I didn't like that. I didn't think that was right. Maybe you want to think about doing it differently, but we are here for the greater good. And if you don't know all of the circumstances, it is often hard to sit in judgment, because the other thing he said was that when he got where he was going, he had a friend that's in the media that's supposed to be applying heat on us. We don't do things that are illegal. I shouldn't say we. The
Would
people I associate with don't do things that are illegal. Go ahead. The one thing about the media, though, is that they're going to look at both sides. So please tell him to come talk to me. And then I'm going to show him the other side and let him do his reporting.
That's
But
why
that's
I
a
told him
threat.
to contact him. Obviously, he is not making any sense. He's going to, if he talks to a reporter, you don't think that I don't know that he's not going to make any sense?
But he's
That's why
making
I said,
sense to his audience.
that's
He's
why
not
I
making.
said, go
He's
ahead
making
and
sense
call
to
him.
his audience.
He's
His
not. There were
audience
lots of
feels
people in
like,
there that were writing, she's just trying to help you. She just wants you to get help. There were people in there that apparently know him that were saying she just wants you to get help.
No,
She wants you to get help.
I think you're
I
missing the
just want
bigger
to say
picture here.
I'm so happy that Analog is part of my group and some of my friends, and I'm just happy and proud to be a part of the group that I'm a part of now. Like I
You be
really
quiet, fucking. He's my new BFF.
Hey, you are
no,
not
fucking,
taking him.
he's not just your friend now. You done let him out.
Y'all ain't taking my friend from me.
No.
Well, you gonna have to fight for him.
There's something
But
I wanted to say
I'm
real
glad
quick.
that he got to meet the broader community and you guys got to know Analog, because he is a really good dude, and I'm just happy and proud to be in the group that I am. Not with just him, but all of us, because we all, sometimes you get in an echo chamber and everybody's on the same side, and we got a lot of different opinions in our group, and we all listen to what everybody else has to say. And I'm glad that Jeff's my friend, and I'm glad Digital's my friend, and we all work together and come together as a community. And no, we don't always get it right, and we always we do make mistakes. And I'm glad that I can go to Digital, or I could go to Jeff, or any of them, and if I'm out of line, they'll put me in my place. I mean, yeah, little man. I mean, all you guys in the comments. Like it takes the whole group, and I'm just glad. Like tonight, we were able to sit down and have this conversation as adults without talking or arguing or fighting over each other, and actually get an understanding where everybody else is at.
And
Well, these are
awareness,
the kind
I
of lives I
appreciate you
like.
being up here too and allowing us to have this conversation, because you could have went right back to your corner and kept doing what you were doing. So I 100% respect that.
There's a quote.
100%.
Well,
There's
thank
a
you.
there's a
All
quote that
I'm
I pretty
asking
much.
is that the awareness community be more aware of how they treat even the scammer and the beggar and each other, and that they try. Digital, I know you hold yourself accountable. I know that much about you, and I don't.
I do too.
Yes, you do, and I think that the vast majority do, but there are some that don't, and they allow the comments to go down a way that is just not productive, and it's cruel. And I
Do you
think
Yeah,
that
do
there's
you know how much more you would have been accepted in the fold had you started that way?
Yeah, lead
but
off with that next time.
but you
Right.
gotta
well,
also
it's only the
you
second time I've been in a box. I've
you gotta
never.
also know that on them people that you're speaking of, the ones that allow them kind of comments and them kind of things to go on in their lives. If you notice, you'll never see none of us in those boxes, and you'll never see us down in their comments, because we get drowned out when we try to say something about it. So we try to avoid those people. Like I said, it's not me or anyone I associate with that does that kind of behavior on this app.
And
There's
there's only one person in control, and that's the host.
there's a quote I want to give you guys that I live by. It's from Cicero, who was a ancient Roman historian, very, very famous man. And the quote basically goes, Emotion is the enemy of good oratory. And what that means is that when you let emotion enter into anything that you are trying to explain, you have already cut yourself short, because emotion is a purely reactionary type of thing, whereas something that's cogent, something that makes sense, something that's going to get to the point, lacks emotion, and it only includes facts, details, and premise. So when you're going through all these things, all these discussions, one of the things that I always notice in all of these discussions is that people get very heated, they get very emotional, they get wrapped up in things, people start talking over each other, and we essentially get nowhere. And the same thing applies to how you view these people too. Because just as you're saying, you want people to not bully, you want to bring awareness to that, you also have to look at the caveat on the flip side too. You also need to be aware of the fact that you could easily be manipulated by these people that you're talking about that are quote unquote being bullied. And you have to understand that that is a broad possibility. So you need to take the emotion out of all of it and just deal from the straight facts and from the straight situation on a generalized perspective.
Can I
will
argue
say
with you, Analog, though? As women, we were created with our emotional, like men are logical, women are emotional. And it serves us. It serves the greater community that we have that emotion intact. It's
It
one of
has
the
its
reasons why
place.
they say you need a mother and a father.
It
So
has its place, yeah.
sometimes we can't always just see it that way, but I think that should be the basis of our argument.
But no,
It definitely has its place.
I do see where awareness is coming from, because I have been in chats before where people want to harp on Tim and Angela's weight, and they will make some nasty, very vitriol comments about their weight and call Angela some pretty terrible names. And I do see it. I've seen it myself. I think we all have. But I personally don't stand for that. And I would tell them, hey, it's not about their weight. We're not commenting on their weight. I comment on their actions and the way they treat people and the way they take advantage of people.
And
But
that's what should be concentrated on, because if there's not enough ammo for you to talk about that without having to go to somebody's looks or the fact that they have a mental health issue or whatever else, then there's not enough there for it to be talked about. I mean, you can discuss all of that without talking about obesity, wrinkles, mental health issues, that, calling people crazy or whatever. And I'm not saying any of y'all have done that, but there are lots of examples on the page where people have been bullied.
now
Absolutely.
I
But
will
sometimes those things are relevant to the argument. And I don't mean from a bullying perspective. I mean, I did a piece about her cellulitis because there were people saying, well, it's because she's fat. It's because she's lazy. And I made sure to make it explicitly clear. You could be thin. You could work out. You could do any number of things. It's about the bacteria getting below your skin level.
that's
Absolutely.
Right.
that's like
Go ahead, I'm
me.
sorry.
I have HS, which makes me prone to skin infections.
Right.
I mean, and it's a biologic thing. I mean, has nothing to do with showering or bathing or cleanliness. I just get skin infections. I mean,
Are
But when
y'all
I talk
reading some
about
of these
taking
comments?
her leg,
I am. I'm about ready to turn them off.
when I look at Cake and I discuss her leg, I'm not discussing it from a place of I want to tease her about it. When I show the picture of it, it's because people aren't aware of exactly. She's lying about her condition.
But that's different to respectfully point out the truth.
I know, but if somebody came in my live and that's the only piece they saw, they could run around and say, I'm bullying. But I wasn't.
Well,
I don't
it's
know.
not.
It was right in
I've
the
listened to
context.
you a few times, and I don't hear you bully. I hear you inform.
I will say
So
that I
now,
was
not everybody up there I'm familiar with, but I will
I
say
will
that I do
say
believe that you inform, and I don't think that I've heard. I mean,
I
there's no
will
example on the page of you bullying, so obviously.
I will say that I was a little taken back when Tim Nash said he was 41. it's hard to believe that he's 6 years younger than me when he looks like he's in about his late 50s.
Well,
I mean,
I'm going to tell y'all
and
something. There's
I
very few
don't think
people
that
that
was
know this.
bullying.
My brother was brilliant. He was an accomplished artist, a musician. He'd signed a record deal, and he knew about computers before people knew about computers. He was a heroin addict, and he died at 40. I was the one to give him CPR. I was the one that spent 8 nights in a hospital room with him so that he wouldn't die alone and so my parents could go home. And I was the one with him when they removed life support.
I'm sorry.
So
I'm
My
sorry.
maybe I
condolences
have
to
a blind spot when it comes to addicts. But
I'm
yes,
sorry.
even
I'm sorry for your
thank you.
loss. Like, I
Yep.
really am.
I didn't think I was going to say this, but my point is that yes, even Tim Nash, because he is a human, he has a disease. We know it's a disease. It's a hard to understand disease. Believe me, I know, because you just want to say, why can't you stop?
We've all said the same thing about Tim Nash. I've heard Jeff say it before. I've heard Digital say it before. At the end of the day, he is human. He is someone's son. He is someone's brother. He's someone's cousin. He's someone's uncle. But he
So
lies
are the
about
people
being a
giving him
father.
money?
He's not a father. He doesn't have any children. He lied about
He does
that.
not.
But addicts lie. It's what they
And
do.
he
Right, but
lied
that's not
saying,
fair
but
to the people giving him money.
No, it's
and I
not.
mean,
It's not.
especially when he's lying about having children that unalived when he hasn't had any children to begin with at all.
I mean,
mean,
I'm not saying he's a good person. I'm not. But he is
it's
a
not
life
what
worth
he
saving.
it's
Yes.
not what he lies about. It's not the lies. It's the things he lies about.
I mean, frankly, I'm shocked that anybody gives him any money because there's so many people that report on him and that tell what he does that it's just mind-boggling to me that anybody gives him money. The same with
Well, I mean,
Maggie, the same with
honestly,
Tim and Angela.
when he's going through his withdrawals, if you just happened in there and you didn't know about it, I mean, he does look like he's sickly, and he does look like he could possibly have cancer. And that's what he does. He thrives off the new people that come. That's what they all thrive on. Tim and Angela, they thrive
it's a rotating door.
Hey,
on getting new one on coming in. Just
Alexander.
tapping upon him off the FYP.
And I don't think, people think I'm anti-awareness. I'm absolutely not. I'm just anti-bully.
hey,
Right,
awareness.
but you know what else though? Like I said a few minutes ago, they are latching on to you calling out people in the anti-scam community and saying, see, look at her. She's telling the truth about them. And then what they do is they extrapolate that to everybody. When Tim and Angela talk about awareness, they don't say a name specifically. They may say, oh, well, look at what Fallon did, but then they'll say them. And then the next thing I know, they've said my name. And the audience doesn't get the differentiation between what Fallon might have said and what Digital might have said. They lump us all together. And so while you're trying to clean up our streets, they are utilizing your videos, your comments, all of it to say, see, they are all bad.
Hey,
Because
awareness.
you pointed out a few people.
Awareness.
Well, I can't stop that. I can't control what other people lump together. I mean, I just can't. I mean, just like you can only control your page, I can only control my page. And if awareness is more aware and doesn't bully people, there will be nothing to call out, and that will make me very happy. That's all I've ever wanted.
I need to add something here. You guys have been very kind to me, and I think that's great. I'm a recovering addict. I was an opioid addict for quite a number of years. Mine was due to injuries that I received that were pretty traumatic, and I got put on opioid medication. And just by nature, I got addicted to it because that's exactly what happens. And then I started to spiral. But the one thing that kept me from going down the hole and going as far as people like Tim Nash or Lisa Richard and all that was the fact that I wasn't coddled. I was told directly the truth by the people that cared about me. They didn't sugarcoat it. They didn't come to me and say, "Oh, it's okay. You're being bullied." No, they told me what I needed to hear, which was essentially shut the fuck up and handle it. And excuse my language, but I had
Well,
to
you and
say
I
that.
are going to have to differ because I don't think that a human being has to earn compassion. I think by the fact that they're living and breathing in a creation of God, they deserve compassion. And I will never take an intellectual approach to it. I'm not going to take an intellectual approach to thinking that somebody has to earn my compassion. The
But
fact
you
that God
gotta check
created them
people.
entitles them to my compassion.
You're
But
going
You
to be
can
taken
God
withhold your
holds
advantage of
people
then.
compassion.
accountable.
You'll
That's
be
God
taken
you.
holds
advantage of
people
then.
accountable.
They can be held accountable while still being compassionate.
Well, you
The
can
two do
also
not
have
have to be mutually
conditions.
exclusive.
You No, I'm not saying they're mutually exclusive. You're completely misunderstanding me. You didn't even let me finish. What I'm saying here is compassion has a place, but so does truth and so does accountability. This is my whole point. You're
Right.
talking about mutually exclusive. Nothing I am saying exists mutually exclusive. They exist all in the same sphere of the same argument. You're looking at it from a very myopic one or the other binary point of view.
No, I just
What
said they're not mutually exclusive. The truth can still be compassionate,
The truth is not always compassionate, though, is my point.
but it's the truth. But you can
Right.
deliver it in a compassionate way.
You don't, but not all, it doesn't always have to be that way.
Well, I think it does. You think it doesn't. So, I mean, that's just a difference in philosophies of life. I mean, I'm going to always err on the side of compassion. That's just who I am as a person. I'm not going to change that.
That's
Do I
totally
think
fine.
that so, I mean, you have a more intellectual approach or, a different way that you want to handle your life. That's how you handle it. But if I'm going to deal with somebody that I know is an addict, depressed, mental health issue, whatever they've got going on, I'm going to lead with compassion. You
But
lead with whatever you
But
want to
you're
lead
holding
with.
other people accountable for not seeing it the way you do.
you're holding them to your standard.
I'm
Right.
posting what they do.
You're holding them to your standard. You are
I'm
saying, I'm
posting
this
what
way,
they do.
therefore
It's
this.
their own words. It's their own clips. It's their own
That's what we do
screenshots.
about the scammers.
Well,
So
and
I have a
cover
question
the
though, real quick.
scammers. I cover
I
them.
have a question. The day I went into Aaron's live and I offered him resources and I even made that freaking call all the way up there.
That was I didn't see that live, but obviously that shows a lot of compassion.
Right. And then he didn't take that compassion. He used it to his advantage
Yes.
and basically stated that he wanted the hotel room. He turned around and didn't want to take that. Did you know that most shelters also have a mental health supervisor or somebody in the professionalism of mental health that could sit down and talk to you, work with you, get you situated? But he chose his path,
He did.
and I can't lead that to him. And where it stands now, I'm sorry, I'm going to straight out call. Since
You can
you've been in his box in his live, he literally got his money for the hotel room. He literally got money for his food.
Yep.
He literally got money for his cigarettes. And he even said in my live that he was going to quit.
Let me ask you this. Before today, without me never knowing this human existed, did he get his money? Did he get his
Yeah.
cigarettes?
That
Did he
doesn't
get to
matter.
eat? So
He
to
might
pin
not
that
have
on
today
me,
though.
frankly, is
No,
bullshit.
I'm not pinning it
Yeah, you are.
on you.
Yeah, you are. You're trying to say that because I went in his box, since that propped him up and he got this and he got that. He was
That's not
getting
what
it
he's
Wasn't
saying.
getting it
before.
You.
That
before
is
you
not
were
what
in
he's
the
saying at
box.
all.
Used you is what I'm trying to say.
Then, okay,
That's
he
not what he said
used
at
me.
all.
Maybe I didn't handle it right. I'm still going to, if someone tells me that they're going to unalive themselves, I'm still going to do whatever I can
Okay,
to
so
calm them
then why
down.
doesn't he reach out to his mods and say, hey, I need you to turn around and call somebody for me?
I don't
Why didn't he
know.
turn around and drop the phone and say, I'm getting off the live, I got to call this?
Did you ever stop and think that a mentally unwell person doesn't think straight?
I'm mentally ill. What do you mean? I don't think about what they would do.
He's
Not
mentally
all
sound enough to
mentally ill people
manipulate
have the
you.
same mental illness. I mean, schizophrenics don't think like everybody else. I mean, bipolar people don't think like everybody else. So I
And
mean,
every schizophrenic isn't begging for money on TikTok.
no, they're not. They're not.
You know
I'm
So
not
the
it's not
saying that it's
it's
an
not a
excuse for him.
blanket. It's not a blanket. Oh, you have mental illness, and so therefore you don't owe the larger community the same level of responsibility. It's
right.
not an excuse.
He
There are
does.
addicts who say, "I've never stolen. I've done other things." So it's not. There's not this blanket catch all that says, well, because you're homeless, because you may have mental health issues, because of this, you get a
He
pass.
That's
doesn't
what
get
they
a
want.
pass. I'm telling you, I think you'd have your place. You cover awareness. You point out the scammers. You point out the beggars. You point out the con artists. But I also think that there is bullying that goes on. I know there's bullying going on because it's flooded with DMs every day about the bullying that they've had. And they provide the proof because if they don't provide the proof, it doesn't go up. So
Okay, well, you do what you do. It is absolutely your platform, and you are at will to post anything you would like.
I, I mean, I hope one day it never has to exist. I hope that the bullying stops. And I hope to God that somebody doesn't get bullied to the point that they do something to themselves or to somebody else.
I think the
That
whole
will not
point.
be on.
That's a big thing to lay at
I
awareness' feet.
I
I'm
think
not
the
laying it
main.
at awareness's feet. I'm saying that that has happened on this app.
From
And if you don't
awareness,
bully, you don't have to worry
from
about being the
awareness,
cause of that.
from awareness.
No, in general, people have been bullied.
But
So
you saw,
if
you
you
heard
don't
him when he
bully,
said that, right?
I
You
did
heard
not.
him when he said, you heard him when he said that, right?
Said
That
what?
he knows for a fact that people have unalived themselves because of awareness.
He
No,
doesn't know
I
that.
don't know that he said that. I mean, if you
He
tell me he
did.
said
You
that,
was
I
Yeah,
in
he
believe
there
you.
did
when
say it.
you were in the box when he said it.
Well,
Yep.
I was also very nervous when I was in the box, sweating like a pig because I have never been in the box before. So it was the first time. So if he said that and I didn't hear it or I skipped over it, then that was on me and that was wrong.
But
I'm not aware of anyone killing themselves from awareness. But
I'm
I'm saying with some of the bullying that's going on and some of the people that I speak to on the backside, there are people who have literally gotten off this app because they've been bullied and they have thought about unaliving themselves.
I just
He
have one
blamed
final thing to
me.
say. I hope that none of the people who have sent their life savings, their last, when they really didn't have it because they thought they were saving somebody's life and they realized they've been lied to and manipulated. I hope nobody on that side takes their life either.
Right. I don't want anybody to take their life. It doesn't have to be an either or. Everybody should be treated with kindness as much as you can tell the truth in a kind way.
Do
I
you
mean,
think that they are treating the people that they lie and manipulate in a kind way?
no.
No.
no, but does that mean that that gives you an excuse to be mean to them?
No,
No.
you're okay. Time out. Time out.
Look, I'm
I
going to bed. Y'all can argue this all night long. You
We're
see it
not
one way. I
arguing.
appreciate what you do. I think it's necessary. I think that, I don't want some person to get scammed out of their life savings. I don't want an elderly man or an elderly woman to not be able to afford their medicine or their food. I mean, I think it's ridiculous that anybody gives money to anybody on this app.
So
But,
I do have one quick question, a final question before you drop.
okay.
How you, Awareness T, feel that awareness should bring awareness about individuals?
Honestly, I will say, and I think I've listened to digital, not for the whole 3 hours. I don't have that attention span, but I have gone in and out. I do think that she, Mexican homie, and I have seen one or two of yours. I do think sometimes you have a sense of humor that's a little strange, all for one. But I mean, I think that, you know,
I appreciate your sense of humor, Jeff.
I mean, I think sometimes it crosses over, it gets close to the line, but that's my interpretation of things. I think factually, I think, when you present this person has done this, they've been doing it for this long. They don't necessarily use the money you send them for what they say they're going to send it for. I mean, facts. I would like the awareness community to have a roundtable discussion where you people all talk about doxing. What is doxing? What do you each think is okay to put out there? If you go to Facebook and you find something, is that okay to post? If you only post somebody's the outside of where they're living, but not their address, is that okay to post? I mean, I think that's a good discussion to be had
I did
amongst the
that
people in
already.
awareness.
Well, I did an entire presentation on doxing.
The only time I think it's okay to dox somebody is if it has anything to do with children or
Animals and the elderly.
animals and
And
the elderly.
jobs.
Okay, what if you knew that somebody was doing something that was a crime?
I've reported somebody who did a
Absolutely,
crime.
you
See,
report
that's what I'm saying, but I
report it
don't
to
think everybody
authority.
agrees. You know, people say I don't go real life. Well, does that include calling the mayor of somebody's town and saying that this person is doing this and this person is doing that? You
If
know,
they're
that they're
committing a
on,
crime,
if they're on TikTok begging, should the mayor be told that that's what's happening?
I wouldn't
I don't think
personally call
so.
them
It,
there.
But
I
see,
No.
wouldn't.
but another person might think so. That's why I think it would
But
be
I
good
mean,
to do
that's the
something
thing,
like
though. I
this with
mean,
all of y'all to discuss it.
we're not the police. I mean, we're not.
Right.
exactly.
We can't police what anybody else does on their page. We can only hold ourselves to the standards we believe in
Right,
Bingo.
but
and
I
our
think
feet
that it
to the
would benefit
fire. And
everybody to just hear what the other person thought because you might
we
change
can,
somebody's
well, I
mind.
mean, everybody knows exactly where everybody else in the community stands, and we can't force our views on other people. Like everybody on this app, like I tell people all the time, I go in a lot of different boxes, and I can't be held responsible for what other people do. I can only control myself. In these boxes, I'm the only person that can control me. I'm the only one. I can't control what Jeff does. I can't control what analog does. I can't control what digital does. I can only be responsible for myself. And I feel that way about everybody else on this app.
Correct.
I know what I know what I would do, and everybody who knows me will tell you exactly how I would treat any situation because I don't hide mine. I'm myself all the time. I'm
Well,
the same every
I
time
just
you
thought
see
that
me in
that
a
was a
box.
good topic because I do
I
think
mean,
that everybody has their own ideas and that
it
if you
would be
would
nice
discuss them in an
if we
open
could all
forum, you might have more of a consensus or you
if we
could
could
change somebody's
all
mind.
if we could all agree on one consensus idea and set of rules for everybody, that would be amazing. But
Oh,
we can't.
I don't think that'll ever happen. But if you
We
invited
can't.
some of the newer people, you know,
Oh,
they might
we
not
try.
know that.
Anybody who
We
listens
try
to me
to.
knows.
We
Anybody who
try. Yep.
listens to me knows 100% that I stand against doxing. 100% in any condition. If I find it, and I did it, and I told everybody when I believe that you've committed a crime, if I think that a child, an animal, or an elderly person's life is at risk, I find that those are acceptable, but that is the rule for me and the platform I'm responsible for.
And if somebody called the mayor, say of Tim and Angela's town, to tell them that they beg for a hotel room, uh,
I
what would you?
personally wouldn't do that.
And
I
how would
No,
you
wouldn't do
feel
it.
about a creator that did do that?
we disassociate with them.
Well, when I get permission to drop some of this stuff, y'all are going to have some hard discussions with each other. I don't drop anything until the person who sent it to me tells me that they're okay with it coming out. Some people fear
Well, I mean,
retaliation.
Can I
I
ask
would
you one
hope.
other? I'm sorry. Can I ask you just one other quick question? You made a post that said that you felt like you had done things wrong and that you were taking accountability for it. However, you didn't say what you did wrong, and at the time, we didn't even have a clue of who you were. So,
I
and that
if
you're taking accountability for it.
I could do that if I didn't think that somebody would figure out who I was from that. And that's the only reason why I didn't. That's why I tried to say I myself have done it, which is why I know what it's like to be bullied and what it's like to bully. And
Okay, fair enough, but you are calling other people out, sharing everything that they've done
I mean,
wrong.
if you have information, I say drop it.
no, that I promise people that when they send it, that I will look at it, and if I think that it,
And
is, then
I
what
will
I
tell
do
you
is I ask them,
if
are they
you're
ready for it to come out?
and
And if they say
also
no, I won't do that to somebody if they're fearing retaliation.
I would hope I'll let it be known clear now. If you see me in a box doing some fuck shit, feel free to call me out immediately.
Okay, that's funny.
Facts.
That's
I
I
just
say
mean,
it
funny.
all the time. If you see that I did something wrong, if I had wrong information,
yep.
if I went too far, I have no problem with anybody saying to me, "Digital, I think this, that, and the third." Now, I don't necessarily guarantee that I'm going to agree. I'm not necessarily going to say that I'm going to love the conversation, but I'd rather be accurate than right.
Yeah, I mean, if like I said, if you ever see me do anything you think's messed up, feel free to call me out on it. DM me. You can call me out in the room. I mean, I have absolutely no problem answering for my actions
Hey,
at
fuck
all.
it.
Look, I'm always wrong because I'm a multimillionaire. Didn't you know that?
What can I add one thing real quick before we drop?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on,
All
because
right.
I want some questions too. So let me. I'm
Yes,
gonna let you go. Okay,
Cindy's been patiently waiting to ask her
you
questions.
go ahead, analog. Go ahead, analog. But I got a
All right.
couple of questions.
It's
Go
just real
ahead.
short. We all have to remember that idealism and hypotheticals are great to develop theories and to have an understanding of things, but they do not solve the problem at hand. We always have to take things on direct rather than deal with them in hypotheticals and we all have idealism, but idealism is only a theory. It's not what you put forth. So I would really like awareness and everybody to remember that, because a lot of what is being said is basically idealism, hypotheticals, and what they think should be done. But the bottom line is here, what you think and what the reality is never, for the most part, the same thing. So you have to be malleable and adaptable to that. And if you let yourself get caught up in the whole hypothetical and idealistic way of how you're approaching it, it's going to harm you more than it's going to help you. That's all I want to say.
Yeah, and to follow up on what Analog says, I have a hypotenuse, and I just wanted Digital to know Analog to know I know big words too.
Um, so Awareness T. We haven't met. I've seen your post. I don't know if you've seen my name come up at all sometimes, but I have a question, and y'all, I'm gonna be asking a couple of questions, and I'll try to make this brief. I know it's late. But I know Awareness T, you were doing everything, anonymously and everything. What made you decide today to get in a box? What was what kind of made you decide to do that today?
What is the young man's name?
Aaron.
Aaron. Because Aaron sent me messages that I found. Oh, wait, my dog can't watch TV with animals. Wait, she goes crazy. Because he had sent me some messages. Some of them didn't make sense to me, some of them proved to be true. But he also talked about something that got me very concerned. And I sent them to Allforone and I said, can you try to help them? I know you got the resources, basically. Allforone graciously offered to co-host, which I told him gives him as much control as Allforone has. I didn't even know he was going to come and do it until he sent me a message and he said, would you come over there? And I said, okay, I'll come over there. And he goes, would you get in a box? And I was like, hearing what I heard, I was hoping that he would be convinced to seek some therapy. So I said I would if I could, but I couldn't because I couldn't figure out how to get a box. Then
Okay.
he went live and I went there and I said, I want you to know I did keep my word. I did come over there. I did look around. I don't know how to do it.
Okay.
And that's and then when I saw that y'all were live again, because somebody sent it to me, I said, well, let me go back over there and say, look, I did try to say it over here. I couldn't because I apparently don't know what I'm doing and didn't know how to take a box.
So basically, Aaron messaged you. I guess he saw your post somewhere and messaged you to get help on his situation, correct?
No. Well, yes and no. He
Okay.
thought like
Okay,
I
1 second. 1 second. Did Aaron reach out to you via message? I
through
have a reason for asking
a
this.
DM.
Yes, a message, a DM, a direct message. Did Aaron reach out to you directly about his situation?
He wanted a truce, and he seemed to think because of the name, I could arrange a truce for all of awareness, which I
Okay,
tried
so
to explain. That doesn't exist. There is no all of awareness. There's this person and that person and this person and
okay,
that person.
okay, and I appreciate that. So basically, he messaged you, Aaron, who is a scammer, but he messaged you asking about your help to get a truce with the awareness people. Is that what I'm hearing correctly?
Well, there was a lot more to it than that. There were probably 50 screenshots that he sent.
I'm sure, but initially, what you're saying
No,
is,
it all came through all together. That's what you don't understand. It wasn't like, "Hey, can I talk to you?" It was like
no,
a
I
jumbled
totally understand.
dump
But
of
basically,
information that came.
okay, but basically, he reached out to you because he wanted to ask about a truce, and then he had a whole bunch of screenshots of, I guess, some negative things that he saw that he wanted for you to be aware of, correct?
Well, not just that, there was stuff about the FCC, and I mean, by the time I was reading through, and there were screenshots, and he
Okay,
was saying
that's
he was being threatened, and then and I
okay,
was like,
but that's
okay,
negative stuff. Okay, so what I'm trying to establish here, and I'm trying to condense this, is basically he reached out to you
look,
to,
it's obvious you have an agenda, so just spit out the question, Sydney. I
well,
mean, you're
I'm
not
trying to,
Matlock. You're not
I'm
Matlock, and I'm not in a witness box. So spit
actually,
out what it is you have to say.
let's tone it down just a second,
You know
okay?
what? I'm going to bed because you obviously have a point that you want to make and you want me to say certain things and try to get me, boxed in. I'm not going to do that because, first of all, it's ridiculous that you can't just ask the question. You think that you're going to, cross examine me. I'm telling you, there was a lot of things that came through, some of which was concerning. I didn't know how to handle it, which is why I reached out to Allforone. One of the things that came through proved to be true, which was somebody who said they were with awareness, said that they had that awareness, as if it's one thing, had lawyers and PIs. And I was like, no, that's not true.
Okay. Well, actually, one of the things I
I
was
would
trying to
greatly
mention
enjoy
was,
to know who said that, though.
and
I
I was
really
trying to
would.
be gracious. It's just that I was trying
No,
not to piss
Sydney,
you
I've
off.
seen your remarks. You're not gracious when it comes to me. In fact, you're very vile when it comes to me. So the
Oh,
fact that I'm
okay.
even talking to you is
Oh,
really
okay.
going against my grain. So
Okay.
I'm going to
Well,
drop.
would
Y'all
you?
can continue to have whatever it is. You
Okay.
can put
Well, you
any
go ahead.
label you want on me,
Okay,
enabler,
that's fine.
coddler, basher. It doesn't
That's
matter.
fine.
I'm going to keep doing what
If
I
you
do.
can't answer basic questions, that tells me everything I need to know.
Yeah, because you're
I was
not
trying to be
asking
very
any, Sydney.
gracious
You're trying
because
to do a
you were
cross
taking a
examination,
long
and
time
I'm a
to
little too
answer.
smart for that, Sydney. You're not going to box me
Okay.
in over something you've
Sure.
thought about for the last
Sure.
hour so that you can get to a point where you can say, see, gotcha. That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Ladies,
So
I
look,
don't
good
think
night.
that's
Hey,
what it is.
we've had,
But
awareness. I just want
we've
to
had
say
a,
this real quick. I
yeah.
think he reached out to you because he was hoping that you would make a video and call out the people who have been calling him out so that he
Yep.
could get a break.
Yeah.
That's
I
Yep.
why
made a
he
video
reached
of the
out to
one
you.
crazy thing that he showed me, which
Yeah.
frankly, y'all should
And
be
you
concerned
make
about too, that somebody is telling him that awareness has a lawyer and PIs that follow
but
people. That's
like
But
I
that's
said,
bullshit.
fine. But I'm
I
just
would
telling you
greatly,
that's why he reached out to you. He didn't reach
I,
out to you because he was concerned about his
I
life.
just wanted to say I would greatly like to know who was saying that crazy shit.
Somebody called Jupiter. Don't know
I
who
have,
that is.
I have no idea who that is, and I know
No.
tons of people in awareness.
And they have an
Yeah.
AKA of Ladybug.
Oh, I know Ladybug.
Then you
I
know who it
really
is.
am.
I agree,
Yeah.
Ash Cole. I think I've just seen bullying behavior myself, so that's all I needed
Yeah,
to
you
know.
probably have, and I've seen lots of it from you too, Sydney, towards me. So we'll just leave it at that.
Actually, this is
But
the
And
first
all
time
for
we've
one, thank you
spoken.
for having it.
wanted to
I
say
know
before,
Sydney.
This
I know
is
her
the first time we've
reputation.
spoken.
I'm not
before now,
interested
I
in
thought we
speaking
were
with her.
having a great, productive conversation.
Well, we were until somebody thought that they
I
were
would
going to,
appreciate.
try to box me into something and,
I
try to
wish.
make her big
I wish we
finalizing
could.
point.
I
My
wish
big
we could keep.
finalizing point. Okay,
Mhm.
all right.
I wish we
I
could
think your
I
keep
don't
that
like
behavior
coming.
Sydney.
tonight
I
has
don't
been
like
bullying.
Fallon. I don't like Adam. Checkmate, I don't really know that well. They have accused me of being people that I'm not. They've accused them of being me. I think they are bullies. I have seen bullying behavior. I've got stuff that when the person tells me that I can drop it, you people are going to drop your teeth. So
No.
that's all I'm going to say. Fallon has
think
put
your
people in the
behavior
box. She's
tonight-
brought them to tears. Nobody
think
has
your
said anything
behavior
to her. They
tonight,
had Rammer. They had
Courtney,
Rammer over on that team.
was
Nobody
very
said
rude.
Don't
anything about
say that
country.
we haven't said
Threatened to be
anything to
doxxed.
Fallon.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I think
Nobody in
Moses asked
awareness
some
except for
questions.
Auburn said that was wrong to threaten country with posting her
I
picture
said
that
it.
happened on a filter slip.
I said it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
I hate to
tonight,
say, but
I think I was very gracious, but
if you noticed,
I
if
don't
you
think that
noticed,
behavior was
well,
very becoming
if I
tonight.
could,
Thank you.
I would say if you sat back and watched a lot of things, you would see a lot of people pulling away from a lot of other people and not backing their play anymore. But like I said, you would have to be around for a while and actually.
And I've never
See how
really
things
seen you
have been
before,
playing
but
out.
you sound like you're a lovely human who has had some struggles in your own life,
He's a
and
very nice person. He's a
and
very nice person.
and that's what I'm saying. I think most of the people are nice. I think the people that are over in that crew in particular think that it has to be done their way, the OG way. They've made comments about that. And frankly, I find them to be the biggest bullies in awareness that I've seen so far.
And I
So,
think your behavior to me tonight was very bullying.
Sydney, I don't like you. I mean,
That's
what do you want me
fine.
to
So that
do?
makes it
We've never
okay?
talked before.
I mean,
We've
I
never
don't think
talked
speaking my
before.
mind is bullying. I haven't called her a
Oh,
name.
But
I
that's
haven't.
what they're gonna say.
Well,
Awareness T. I don't know if I could have a moment, please.
Yep.
Ladybug is down in the comments, and she said that she would like to talk to you.
well, tell her to send me a DM. What time is it? Yeah,
I'm just saying she's down in the comments.
she can send
She
me a
said that
DM. That's
she
fine.
said
We
that
can
she would
talk.
like to talk. She would
You
like to
know,
talk to
I'd
you.
like to see any one of you go into the enemy territory that you have made it out to be, that I'm the enemy, because I point out when some of y'all are nasty to other people that, according to what I see. Now, not everybody sees everything the way that I see. That's the beauty of life. So, you have
That's
some.
why we call it agree to disagree.
You're
Right.
letting your emotions
Hold on
cloud your
1 second.
judgment.
The first time that I have had any interaction with you,
No, you've
you were
left
very rude
comments
to
and
me.
you've made comments in those lives. And don't think that I don't see it, because people send it to me. I mean, it's like I'm a
I've
human
seen all
too.
my
I
comments.
don't like to have nasty crap said about me. I mean,
I
do you
think my
think that that's
comment today was, please do not cause division among the awareness. If that's rude, so be it.
no? That's not the ones I'm talking about. I'm talking about the comments that you make when you're in the live that Checkmate has.
We'll bring them. I mean, no offense, but this is the first time any of us had dealt with you. I had questions, and basically,
But you won't ask them. You want to try to lead it down a trail so that you can
Because-
have your gotcha moment. So just
No,
ask the
actually-
question.
Actually,
No,
what
we
happened
know what you
was
were doing. You're
you
like,
took a long time to answer the question.
you
I was
kept
being
trying to
respectful not
summarize what I was
interrupt you.
saying and trying to narrow what I said. I had
Because
a
you
very
didn't answer the
broad
question.
definition of what happened, because that's exactly what happened. But you want to peg it into a certain hole so that you can go to your next point, so that you can get to the end, so that you can have your gotcha moment. And you're not going to have it with me.
It's actually not
either.
about a gotcha moment. It's the
Then
fact
just
that
ask the
tonight-
question for God's sake.
Well, you told me you didn't want to answer any more questions.
Well, you aren't asking any. You're trying to peg it into a hole, and I'm not going to do that game. So say what the question is, and then as a human, I can decide to answer it or not.
I think you were very rude tonight to me for no reason.
Well, then I'm sorry that I was rude to you. I'm upset because I had said that I wanted to leave. you had questions. I was like, fine. And then you started with that trail. And I don't like that.
Hey, if you want to
Lori,
leave the box, you're more than happy to do that. But let me just say this to you. I was trying to have a discussion with you because I personally would like everybody in awareness to get along. Now, I don't understand your gotcha moment. Here's Matlock, whatever. I mean, you feel the way you feel, but the way you treated me tonight was a form of bullying. And I
No,
don't have
you
to
were
have,
okay. We can
I'm
agree to
not finished.
disagree. I
I'm
raised
not
my
finished.
voice and I said I
I'm not
didn't want to
finished.
play the game. You can
I'm not
call that
finished.
bullying. I think I've been bullied. So that's the beauty. You can
Here's the
say, put a
thing,
label
though.
on it. I can put a label on it.
Here's the thing,
I
though.
raised my voice to
If you
you.
think
I
other
should not
people
have
are
raised my
being
voice.
bullied, if you think other people are being bullied and you've just bullied me tonight, don't you think that also means that maybe people that you think are being bullied maybe aren't being bullied? Because tonight I felt very bullied by you.
Then
Now I
I'm
can
sorry
stand
that
my
you,
ground.
okay, what did I say to you that was bullying?
Well, first of all, you kept interrupting. You said I was a vile human being. You said that I know what game you're playing.
I
You
do
know
know
who
what
I'm
game you're playing.
with.
I apologize for saying you're a vile human being. I do
I
apologize
mean,
for that.
I don't even know you, and it's like I'm a vile human being. I know who you are. Blah blah blah. That
I
is
do know who
bullying
you are,
tactics.
and
Well,
I know who you hang with,
Okay, can
and
I
I
ask
don't
you,
like
lady?
them. So what do you
Can
want? I mean, I've seen screenshot after screenshot of how
okay?
they behave, and
Can
nobody wants to call it
hold
out.
on,
Nobody
Sophie.
wants
Hold
to
on,
tell
just
them to
one
stop.
second.
Y'all just want to keep.
Hold
Y'all
on,
just
just
want
one
to keep putting
second.
them on the pedestal
Okay,
Again,
just
and
you
one
don't
telling
say
them,
second.
hold on, hold
y'all,
"Oh,
on, hold
don't.
on.
Hold
So
on.
don't say
Hey,
y'all.
hold on a
Ladies,
second.
Don't
Let's
say
get a handle on
y'all.
this live,
yes,
please, real
please.
quick.
Yeah,
That's
hold on
what I
one
was
second.
trying to
Go
do.
ahead.
Like,
Go ahead.
ladies, can we please set our personal feelings aside?
Thank you.
And Cindy, if you have a question, can you please just ask your question, and or Ernest, if you could please just answer the question so we can just move this thing along. Let's
Actually,
put all the personal feelings
Actually, I'm
aside.
going to do this. I'm going to do this because I don't mind standing up for myself by myself anytime.
Oh,
She's
absolutely.
wanting to
And
leave. Hold
nobody's
on.
asking.
Hold
I'm
on.
not trying to
She's wanting
make
to
anybody
she's
feel any
wanting to
kind of way.
leave, and I'm not going to keep her up any late because I have a
because you don't
serious
have a
question.
question, do you? You wanted to go down the path.
Oh, actually, I got quite a few questions, but you
Ask
said you
them
wanted to
then.
leave.
So much for
Ask
that
them.
compassion for all.
Ask
Yeah,
them.
Hello,
I
checkmate.
noticed that. I noticed that a lot.
Ask them.
Um, okay, well, here's the thing. Do you want to answer them, or are you going to
I
be
have to hear them
bullying over
first.
your
If you ask
community?
me what my breast measurements are, no, I'm not going to answer it. If you ask me something I want to answer, I will answer it. I mean, I don't know how to be any more clear to you. I'm not obligated to answer it, but if I hear it and I want to answer it, I'll answer it.
I found that response very troubling.
Okay.
I have a question to ask.
Go
Mm-hmm.
ahead.
Awareness T.
Mm-hmm.
Be honest with me.
Mm-hmm. I can tell the sense of humor is coming.
No, this isn't sense of humor. This is
Okay.
being honest.
Okay.
This ain't funny.
No. What does that say right there?
Where?
Hold on. And I'm just asking an honest question.
We can't see it because
Yeah, I'm
of the
sorry, Jeff.
comment. Okay,
Yeah, the
there you go.
comments.
I said time to clean up the shit show.
Okay, you don't feel that that's some form of bullying?
To who? I believe that y'all were talking about awareness and bullying at the time that that screenshot was taken. And I said, it is time to clean up the shit show.
Okay. So was that directed towards awareness or was that directed towards the host of that live?
All of awareness, because that's what was being talked about at the time. Somebody brought up that
Why
somebody
are
was
you
being
in a
bullied.
scammers live? Never mind. Quiet.
Not all of awareness as in every human being, but it wasn't directed at Jeff. It was directed at those that
It's
bully.
the loss.
But you said awareness.
Well, I mean, what do you want me to do? I mean, I just called out a few of them. I mean, and I've also said that I didn't think that you did it earlier.
No, I
So
know that, but what I'm saying is if you've watched Tim and Angela for any length of time, they like to make it all of us and not be specific. And that literally is telling their audience, yes, they are all they. And he even accused me of calling his hotel and threatening him. And I went right in his box. And I was like, that wasn't me. That's never me. I never go that far. But everybody in his life believed him because he said it. And listen, you can have whatever opinion you want. I have mine and nobody can tell me to change my opinion. But what I am asking you to do is to think more broadly that in your anger about several people, things like this set the entire community back. And it is co-signing the lies they tell because you're angry with a group of individuals.
I'm angry at people who bully the other people.
I
And
understand that. But again, I'm just asking you to focus. You said awareness is not an excuse to bully people.
it
What
isn't.
Tim and
That's a
Angela,
true
right.
statement.
But what you are failing to appreciate is that Tim and Angela will use this one sentence and their enablers and supporters to say they're all bad.
And I'll be honest with you, with the fact of just the response of time to clean up the shit show as a host, and I'm not her, I would take that as an approach to the host.
Well, but what were you talking about at the time? You were talking about bullying. Therefore, the next line, awareness is not an excuse to bully people. Something came up in that live where y'all were talking. Somebody
Wait,
brought it up.
no. This is
No.
their live because
Their
Bar
Yeah.
live.
Carey is their mod. This was
Yeah,
their
they're
live.
actually.
Oh,
they're
they were
live. They're
talking
not
about
in
being
there.
bullied then. Okay, they were talking about being bullied, and I said it is time to clean up the shit show. Awareness is not an excuse to bully, and I
But
have seen them bullied. I've seen
what
them
I'm
be called
saying is
gross.
that host could have felt that was directed to her,
Why would
is
she
what I'm
think?
trying to
Who is
say.
the host?
I
Tim
don't
and
know who
Angela?
it is.
She
I guess that's
is.
who that
Angela's
is.
pointless.
Angela.
Angela's the host, and I said awareness is not excuse to bully people.
And
You
you know
can't
what they
look at that
did?
sentence. You got to look at the one time to clean up the shit show. Well, damn, I'm sorry. It's a shit show that I'm doing whatever I'm doing in this live. That's how I would have taken it. And I'm being 100% transparent and honest with you.
Well, I'll be 100% transparent and honest, is that y'all should be trying to clean up your own community. Why do I, as an outsider, have to come in and try to clean it up? Why aren't y'all
You
self-policing
don't.
yourself?
You don't.
Why
But
aren't you
when
calling out Fallon?
you
Why aren't you
don't
calling
know
out the
what
bullies?
you don't.
You coddle the
Listen,
bullies.
you
You
don't know
coddle
what you
the
don't
bullies.
know.
You have
You
personal
So
deny.
you
friendships
don't
with the
know.
bullies, and
Because
you
I've
won't
had
call them on it. You won't. You
Listen,
do it behind the
I
scenes, and you won't call them on it.
I'm
I
calling on you
specifically
now.
in my life said with Fallon in the box that she doesn't agree with what I do sometimes, and I don't agree with what she does. Said it publicly.
That goes back to what I was saying earlier. I'm only responsible for me and my actions.
Thank
Well,
you.
then don't
Right.
get mad when
Only
somebody that's an
person I can.
outsider comes in and starts posting
Hey,
about
hey,
how
I,
people in
Nobody's
awareness
mad.
bully.
Nobody's
you
What are you
haven't
doing
mad.
heard
right now?
you haven't heard me say anything about it.
I'm going strictly
No.
by the
You
actions you did.
Everybody's responsible.
The awareness community coddles the awareness community. They allow
Everyone
the
is
bullying. They
responsible
don't
for their
control the
own.
content. They don't control the DM. They don't control the chat. Not all of them, but a lot of them. And there's
I
a
don't.
particular
I
group
don't.
that I've gotten more DMs about than anybody else. They like to bully people off the app.
I don't pay anybody else's internet bill. I can't control what anybody else does with their internet.
Well,
Bingo.
I can point it out, and I'm going to keep pointing it out
And,
until it stops.
that's your right. Everybody on this app is responsible for their own platform.
And if they don't like
Correct.
seeing them being called out, then stop doing it.
But I just
Well,
want to say this. It feels hypocritical to say that you want to maintain your anonymity so that people don't call you out for the bad things you've done.
Well,
But
considering that I got off the app not too long ago because I got a death threat, and then within 2 days both of my dogs were poisoned and I had to run them to the ER. Yeah, I'm not going to give you any clues to who I am.
no, I'm not talking about who you are. What I'm saying, and I'm sorry about your dog.
And if I say
But the-
what, it will lead to who. I know how
Right.
the game works, and I'm not
I
going to play that.
understand
There's going to be
but
no
I'm just
clues.
saying it is hypocritical to call out other people, but not being willing to say this is what I did and I'm sorry. In my opinion,
Well, then I'm a hypocrite. Fine, add it to the enabler and the coddler list. I don't care.
I didn't say
Well,
that.
well, I am sorry about your pets because nobody's pets should be harmed
Yeah,
at all.
nobody deserves that.
No.
Nobody's
But I'm going to
pets,
say this. I'm going to
nobody's
say this.
children. Like
Tonight,
none of it.
I had some questions, and you treated me very despicable tonight.
Well, Sydney,
And
I've
hold
seen
on,
what you've
hold
said
on.
about me, and you have been less than kind. So to get up in a box and try to pretend like you're a peacemaker or that you're some bastion of calmness when you haven't been in the hot seat for 2 hours, good for you. Next
Well, then
time,
you need
you
to tell
take
me
the
what I
hot seat.
said. Then you need to tell me what I said that was so horrible.
I don't
Because you
remember
can't just,
exactly.
well, no. You can't just come on here and say I'm a vile human
Sydney,
being
you know what
and
you've
not have
said.
your facts behind you.
You know what you've said.
You can't do that.
Sydney, just ask her the question real quick.
Actually, I had quite a few, but instead I'm gonna make a statement. Okay.
Oh,
I'm just
God.
making
All
a
right,
statement.
I'm going to go. She never
You
intended
can
to
go.
ask the question.
It's-
She always just intended for this to be a gotcha moment. So,
No, that's your paranoia. That's your paranoia. You have such a personal vendetta against Fallon that it is reaching new heights.
I think
And I don't know
Fallon
what
is one of the biggest bullies on TikTok.
Fallon.
She
Please
is
don't
a bully,
interrupt me.
and this is where we wanted to go, isn't
Please
it,
don't-
Sydney? You wanted to
No,
pin me
please
down so
don't
that you could
interrupt
say,
me.
oh, it's irrational. Fallon is a bully. I've seen her make people cry, and you want to talk about
You were a bully
hypocrisy.
to me tonight. And I
Okay.
have not done anything.
So now
to
you know what it
You
feels
were a
like. Did I
bully
make
to
you
me.
cry? Did I bring you in a box and tell you that you were a bad dog owner because while you were in a wheelchair, your puppy got out and had to have its leg amputated, and that you managed to save
Do
$2,000
not
from your
bring up
disability?
Aaron.
You
Do
just
not bring up
negated
Aaron
everything you
because
said
I
tonight.
clocked her and realized that she had been lying the whole time. So if you're gonna bring Aaron up, and I don't think you should, understand that what you didn't see is where I was able to catch her in a lie.
Except that
About the whole thing.
at the time, Fallon did believe that's what happened, and Fallon did get her in a box, and Fallon did call her despicable dog owner, and so there were other people that were chiming right in with it. So
Okay, so let me ask you
But
this.
you don't. Again, when you don't know what you don't know, you
Fallon
can
didn't
make.
know either. Fallon brought her in the box, knowing
I
that a
understand
7-month-old
that,
puppy that she
but
newly rescued, this was the
you're
story,
you are
ran out, needed to
defending
have its leg
a liar
amputated, and
now.
because she didn't have
Look,
$2,700, she only had $1,900.
She
She
did
was a
have
beggar.
$1,900 though. That's
But it
the part.
doesn't matter because Fallon thought that was the case, and she still went after her because she didn't have
Okay.
$700. It
This-
doesn't matter what the
Why are
case
you
turned out to be
yelling?
afterwards. The
Why
fact
are
is that
you
Fallon went
yelling?
for her neck, thinking that a 7-month-old puppy escaped, that the dog had to have its leg amputated, that she had 1,900 and needed
Well, my
700 more.
suggestion is
hey,
hold
This
the
when do we
conversation
go
has
on the
nothing to
track
do
here,
with
folks?
that.
Hello, it's my live.
It's
Thank
his
you.
Y'all are
live.
never ever going to police
his-
yourself.
his
You're
life.
never going to come out against Fallon. You're never going to correct her. You're never going to come out against Checkmate. Checkmate has said things about me that aren't true. I've told her to post the proof of it, of who I am. She
Well,
thinks
I'm
I'm
waiting to
Trolla.
see
I'm
proof of how I
JSA.
was
I'm
vile.
Gov. I'm the PI. No, no, no.
I've
No,
called
no,
out
no.
Fallon. So
Look, I'm just trying to
again,
get this live under control and be respectful.
They saw Rammer threatening to dox country. Nobody said a word.
What does this
Nobody.
have
did you
to do
miss
with
the
the
live where they
conversation?
called her out?
See,
Did
you
you miss
can't
the live where they called her out?
They
Yeah,
didn't call
you
her out. They put her in a box. They put her in a box and she sat there and she didn't say too much of anything except that that's not what really happened. And apparently they unmodded her. But if you look at what she writes, she quit. So you can't be both fired and quit. You can't.
actually you don't know all the behind the scenes on that.
That's exactly the point, Sydney. When it's your people, you do it behind the scenes. But when it's somebody else, you put them front and center. And that's part of the problem.
No,
None of this has
here's the
anything to
part of
do
it.
with the conversation at hand here.
Hey, everybody, hold on a second. I would like to give Tired of Nonsense a moment to speak, please.
Okay.
I appreciate that, Allforone. I only have a few minutes anyways, but I got a question for T Awareness. You wanted to bring up the Rammer thing. I like what Dee Dee, I think it was just Dee Dee that just said that. You didn't actually see both lives that Rammer was in?
Mm-hmm.
That was a question.
Oh, she dropped.
That's exactly what I thought. Have a good day,
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah,
Take
she
care.
dropped when I was going to ask questions too, so I get it. Well, I'm just going to make a comment that I'm going to go. First off, if nobody saw that was bullying toward me tonight, I mean, let me be clear. I'm a nice person, but I'm not a soft person. And that was bullying that was done to me tonight. And in awareness, we're supposed to be able to ask questions, and there is something personal that she has against Fallon. I don't know all the details. I don't know all the backstory. But at the same time, though, do not preach about how you are anti-bullying. And then as soon as I ask a question and I'm trying not to interrupt, you bully me. That was bullying. And if
Remember what I
anybody doesn't understand what bullying is, that's what bullying was.
remember what I said about emotion is the enemy of good oratory? That was a perfect example of it right there.
Thank you, Analog. Thank you.
Yeah, to be honest with you, it was.
And no offense, you know, I don't get upset about this kind of stuff because honestly, people are going to show their behavior. And the sad thing about it was I really wanted to ask her because I was really hoping that maybe we could all work together. I really do. This isn't just blah blah to me. I really want the awareness community to work together.
Oh, absolutely.
But
So
that
do I.
behavior, but that behavior was bullying on a different personal
Like I
level.
said, I'm tired of getting lumped in with everybody else. Like
Me too.
I'm the
And-
only one.
Me
I can
too.
only control myself
here.
and my actions and how I treat people and how
And I know exactly
I
what I've
respond
said
to
in
people.
lives about awareness tea. In fact, if you look at the stuff that I even posted, it's always like, please do not continue with the drama.
everybody's platform's different, and I can only control my platform that I'm personally on.
And
And if
honestly
anybody
speaking,
else wants to
what
drive
what
this,
I feel bad about with awareness tea is everything she spoke about the bullying, everything was negated with how she spoke to me and what she did tonight.
yeah, I mean,
There you go.
I don't understand why. I mean, she brought up Adam a few times. I don't know why she couldn't address whatever problem she had with him in the box.
And the only reason why I was trying not to, she was saying it was taking a while to ask questions. She kept going the long-winded, and I was not going to interrupt her out of respect. I don't do that. But that's okay because there's something personal there. I don't know what her personal vendettas are against Fallon and, as she calls the crew, I don't know. But that's unacceptable behavior.
Yeah, I mean, I have no idea about what she has a problem with them about, but
I don't know.
In my
But-
opinion, someone like that should not even be involved in this because they're not emotionally stable enough to stick to the
No.
topic at hand. They basically derail it into their own grievances, and that's the root problem with awareness.
Hey, Adam, tired of nonsense?
Hey, I wanted to come
meet
back
my
on for one really quick. I'm at
meet my
an
new
event.
best friend.
What's that, bud?
Meet my new best friend, Analog. He's my
Hey,
bestest.
I done told you, man, we'll fight. Those are fighting words.
Go ahead, Adam. I'm sorry, sir.
Yeah.
No, I'm at an event, peeping in what was going on, and I wanted to come back and just say sorry. I came in like that. I apologize.
I
but
think
the level
what you
of
did was
hatred
perfectly fine.
Go ahead,
Sorry,
Adam.
go
Sorry.
the level of hatred that account has had towards two specific ladies
Yeah.
on here is beyond bizarre. And then they started calling me out when I started calling them out for it. And it is what it is. It is a manipulative account hiding behind closed doors, and I'm not going to entertain people like that anymore. So I apologize. I came in and said I was going to ask a couple questions, but obviously she wanted to dip, so that's fine. It's better that she did that. So I appreciate everybody talking
No,
tonight.
I agree, Adam. I totally agree. And when I was getting, and when I finally realized when she said to me, "Well, see, you didn't have questions." Everybody knows I have tons of questions. I mean, I always do. But there's no point in asking if you have that level of hate. And I'm gonna tell you something.
Yes.
That hate is personal, and I guess she's
It is.
now on part of the hate train, but that's fine because honestly speaking, what is being done with the the scammers and her going in there and basically defending their behavior and
Yep.
encouraging that is actually horrible. And I agree with DD. I mean, she's in there, and I'm glad All4One pulled that thing. But y'all, and I've always seen in her posts, there is a level of personal hatred toward Fallon. I mean, it is personal. And I'm sorry, but I'm not going to quit hanging her out with Fallon just because she has some kind of hurt over it. And she couldn't
Absolutely
provide
not.
facts or anything about it. And she couldn't tell me why I was vile because I know exactly what I say in lives. And I'll be more than happy to see anything that is stated or whatever that she says that I'm saying toward her. But yeah, that was very interesting. And I think she's very upset because there was a truce made and it's not going a certain way. But at the
The
same
fact
time,
that
though,
she thought Checkmate owed her a conversation
yes.
after the truce was made, why did she need her own truce?
Well,
And then she
That's
had to go
it.
public about it and post it, and
Right,
Checkmate wouldn't
That's
respond to
it.
her.
exactly.
here's a
That's
bigger
it.
point. I don't know who Fallon is. I don't know who Checkmate is. I don't know who most of you are. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to sit here and start questioning each of you because that's not the
Oh,
point of this conversation. The
I
point of
have
this
a,
conversation is to get to the bottom of everything.
I,
And when she derailed it for her own personal grievances, she negated
Yeah.
her whole premise tonight.
Well, and my thing was when I was speaking to her, I really do want to find out what the situation is so we can repair it. I mean, look, if we can all get along, let's get along. This isn't I mean, she used some different terms which were patronizing, but I really want awareness to work together. I think we all have things
Hell effing yeah.
you know?
That the ego,
That's all I've ever wanted.
Yeah. And
you have to
so
take the egos out of it.
Yeah.
absolutely. But what you saw tonight was the real awareness tea.
Yep.
So that was very
and
interesting.
I mean, I honestly don't see where you said anything offensive or done
She
anything
didn't. She just knew where it
No.
was
at
going and
all.
she didn't want to answer it. But the
You came
fact
up
that she
very,
won't take
very respectful.
accountability for her part of it is
Yeah.
why I called her hypocritical. What you mean you
Yeah.
want to protect yourself, but it's okay for you to call other people out? Like you can't have it both ways.
There should be no
Oh,
reason for her to have to protect herself if she's not coming on here and causing controversy. If you're doing the right thing, you're saying the right things, and you're keeping to the topic at hand, you should be fine. I'm not worried about someone coming after me right now. I'm not
Correct.
taking extraordinary measures to protect myself because I'm not giving anybody as a reason to do something.
Mexican homie, sir, how are you doing this evening? You have the entire floor, sir.
Good evening, everybody. I've always said it myself, and I'm pretty sure everybody that's here has heard it. You know, if awareness all work together, we get a lot further, and I'm pretty sure everybody could agree with that.
I mean, back in the day, we all did. I mean, back in the day, Jeff remembers that day. Adam remembers that day. I mean, we've all been around, us three, I know, and Checkmate. I mean, there was a time when that did happen.
Yes,
There really was, and I wish we could get back to that time. I talk about that time all the time with my friends.
yeah,
It was
And there was no
amazing.
arguments ever. There was no arguments ever at one point. I remember those days 4 or 5
Yeah,
years
I
ago
mean, you
perfectly.
could literally go from live to live to live because everybody covered someone different, and
Yep.
we would all share information and work together. And it was amazing back then. That's what got me into doing this to begin with.
and when I started, when we started bringing awareness, I didn't see everybody going at it. While different groups, because people have the group of like their group of people that they usually have in the boxes and stuff of that nature. But I never seen it. I've been doing this for just a little bit over 2 years, and this past year is where I started seeing things happen, and I was all like, "Oh my goodness!" And I talked about it a lot on the platform. Is if we work together, we get a lot further. And you know what the beggars and scammers do? They use it against the awareness community when they see the awareness community going at it with each other, and they're laughing at the awareness community because of what's going on.
Oh,
Agrees.
absolutely. Absolutely. They
Aw.
are.
I think the fundamental difference here between back then and now is during that time, it was about the purpose, trying to defeat these people, trying to remove their ability to scam people. It's now juxtaposed and morphed into being about themselves. And as they get more exposure and more attention, they start doing the natural human thing, which is self-preservation and looking out for themselves without realizing that they've just lost sight of the actual goal of awareness, which is stopping these people. And they've now made it about themselves. That is the root issue with the community, is that you have a lot of people that think their idea is best, the other person's idea is not, and I'm going to argue with you about it instead of trying to accomplish a common goal. That's where we got lost.
Well, and
100%.
Yep, facts.
and she doesn't want to face facts. I want to thank the people in the comments. I had so many people down there saying Cindy doesn't bully, Cindy's great. Y'all, that's very sweet. I think the one thing that accomplished tonight that I'm very happy about is that this brings to me the conclusion that I needed about awareness tea. And I mean, we all kind of suspected, many of us that have been kind of thinking about it. But honestly, if that's somebody who is going to be saying we shouldn't bully and bullying is wrong, I think tonight's behavior clearly demonstrated they might want to take a different platform on that, because that clearly was not professional behavior by any means. So
I'm just going to jump in and tell you guys bye. I got to head out, guys. I want to thank everybody, and I'm just glad everybody got to see exactly what that page is and how they're trying to divide. That's all I care about. I'm glad everybody saw it, and I thank everybody up here for doing what you're doing.
Stay safe.
I hope you have a good weekend and safe travels, my friend.
Have a good one.
I didn't mind taking one for the team on that. So anyway, but it's good. So, okay.
And the way I see things in the awareness community is united we stand and divided we fall, because that's the truth behind the reality of it.
Well, I mean, honestly, I think Analog was kind of right when he said what he said just a minute ago. But a lot of people, like, it seems like they started growing their platform and they got away from what we were all working towards together to begin with. And like now it's all about their platform instead of back in the day, it was like everybody helping everybody else build their platform. You know what I mean?
And what I want people to understand is, and I always talk about it, you know, I never look at the numbers. I never look. I never pay attention to how many people are on live streams. And I get where you're coming from. I don't want to say your name and get mad.
Samuel's fine, bro.
Okay, Samuel. People start looking at numbers and how many people are in their live streams. I don't look at it like that. If we could reach one or two people, to me, in my eyes, we've accomplished something. So I don't ever look at the numbers.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Like, I don't care if there's 5 people in a room or 5,000. It don't matter to me. I'm the same me all the time, and all I'm doing is trying to save one old lady, somebody's grandma, from sending one of these beggars their last $10 that they could have ate 3 days worth of food with. Like, if I can reach one person and save one person, then my time was well spent.
Yep.
Exactly.
Amen to that.
Yeah. And that's why I say it's never going to be about the numbers, because I mentioned it time and time before. You know, I hate to keep repeating myself, but when we first started bringing awareness, we had 20, 25 people on our live stream. And that was for many, many live streams. And then eventually we grew a great and amazing community. And I'm thankful for that, because
I've been in your lives. I've been in your box before. You do an amazing job, man. You and your wife.
Yeah.
You're absolutely amazing people too. You both are.
His wife is wonderful.
You know what it comes down to? There's a good quote from the movie Ronin. Everyone is your brother until the rent comes due. That is the essence of human nature in this day and age.
Yeah, it is.
Allforone, can you hear me?
Uh-oh.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't know who that was, but this is your platform and it was disrespected. And I don't like it.
I'm not going to disagree with you. I do feel that it was, and the other thing is too, is that it made me feel that even when I tried to get it under control, she kept on raising her voice, over talking everyone, over talking me. She had no respect for the live and for what we try to do. And look, I'm going to put this out straight out, flat out. Awareness is not a perfect science.
Nope.
Nobody has written a book on it. Nobody's, there's so many different avenues that awareness can do. And the thing is, I'm not perfect. I'll be the first mother effer to turn around and say that. But facts are facts. When people are trying to get the information out there to other individuals and trying to gently send them DMs to, hey, look, this person has got this kind of money. Don't give them your money.
I do agree with some of what she said when it comes to if we see somebody in our comments or, in a live we're in commenting about their looks or their weight or something, like everybody needs to step up and put an end to that, because
I agree.
That is not okay.
But we cover that all the time. Like she was talking about doxing. I mean, even DD said, and
Yes,
Fallon's had a live on doxing. I mean, Checkmate's had a live on doxing.
I do believe that's one thing. Like I told her when she said that, nobody I know or I associate with is okay with that. And we've all of us have said something about, everybody I know or associate with has said something about the
Hi,
doxing.
guys.
Okay, one thing I want to say is that the one thing she has done is made us coalesce around each other. So for that, thank you, awareness. T, I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
You know what?
I saw the video that Lazy Day sent me. It's disgusting how he threatened me. And I mean straight. I know who she is. I know where she lives. I'm going to call the police. She did nothing. But I'm the one that's supposed to call help for him.
See, that's the thing. I remember when Tim sat there and turned around and called me an old geezer or whatever, getting off the toilet. I never said anything negative about him. And there he goes sitting there using derogatory remarks. Now, I let it run off my shoulder, and yes, I did create a video for that.
Yeah.
But that's the same thing as what they're doing to other people.
And
why is that right? Why should I have to do something?
I agree with the body shaming and stuff that goes on.
I do too.
It's none of us that are doing that. I mean, we have no control over what somebody goes in their chat and says. Like at the end of the day, like I told her, I can't say it enough. Like
no, she didn't care anything about me.
For us and what goes on in our chats.
But I was supposed to be the one that was supposed to call for help for him, but he openly threatened me. I have the video. I just posted it. Thank God Lazy Today's got that, because that shit is
what you do?
What she said is how she feels, and that's it. Again, she lost the argument.
Yep.
Because it's not, Fallon feels the way she feels. Why?
It's like what is right for thee is not right for me.
I know we should take everybody's mental health seriously.
Absolutely.
I would feel terrible if I played a part in somebody hurting herself. But these beggars, she don't realize how many times they weaponize their mental health against us.
Well, now, hey, you know what? Now they're weaponizing DV situations.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, that is sickening. That really is
Well,
sickening.
and the person, Fallon, that she keeps insulting, Tim and Angela, the one that she keeps defending, she called Tim called Fallon a "see you next Tuesday."
He's called a lot of women on his
audience.
Yep.
Now,
he's
y'all know
that
that "see you next Tuesday" is one of the most inappropriate things to say to a woman.
He's done that more than once, though.
What about the women he didn't pay back? Right. The women he decided not to pay back because he was upset that they said something about him. But you're in there talking about the awareness doesn't need to bully.
Yeah.
She fails to want to take accountability for the things she's done and said that could actually harm the community. And she's leaving out all of the people who are harmed by their behavior because she wants them to have compassion.
It's a lot simpler than that.
Compassion for the other people. people.
It
a
just
lot
makes me think
simpler.
of what if he really knew who I was and where I was at. That
Well,
shit is
yeah,
kind of scary.
It
it
Yo,
is
is scary
scary.
still. And I'm going to tell you something. Another thing that she's not doing, and I don't care if she considers this bullying or not because it's not. What she's not considering is that we spend a lot of time researching these cases. That's what I call
We
them.
do.
And we spend a lot of time knowing if they're safe or not safe. And for her
Yep.
to actually entertain a DM, which I'm going to be honest with you, my opinion, I don't know if he actually was the one that initiated the DM. And
No,
that's
I
what I
don't
was
think he
trying to
was.
get
I think
to.
she went in there trying to
I
be
don't believe
Captain
it.
Save-A-Ho.
Because that's very random. And of course, when I stated that, then that's where she had to do the deflection and call me the vile human being. But the point is, it's not a Matlock situation, it's a safe situation. We spend a lot of time researching. So if you
Checkmate
just
wants
go
to come up, I
in
think.
It's a
and do that stuff, then you're missing out on everything that we've actually researched on. And it's very careless on her part to do that.
Yeah,
it's a
she's
Because
lot
she doesn't
simpler.
destroying
even know who
everything that we
she's
put together.
defending. She doesn't know who
Exactly,
she's
Judy.
defending. So
It's a
here
lot
Exactly.
you
simpler
are
than that.
jumping into somebody's life talking about how we
Yeah.
need to show compassion, and she doesn't even know their
No.
history.
It's
No,
And
way more
see,
she's more
simple than this,
concerned
guys.
with
yeah.
all of that.
And
And,
Phil,
what about
I'm
my
sorry
mental
that
health and
happened to
my
you.
safety? And I appreciate every one of you. How many, there's got to be 30 people that have sent me videos, that have reached out to me. I truly do appreciate it. I really do, from the bottom of my heart.
I'm,
Because that shit is scary. And yes, I am perfectly fine. I am not who he says I am. I have no worries. But she fucked up when she mentioned Fallon. Fallon is amazing. Even Fallon scares me. But she is amazing and she is right.
But
I'm gonna
see,
boil it
anybody
down to
who
something
hangs out with
simpler.
Fallon, I'm sorry, anyone who hangs out with Fallon, like for example, because I defended Fallon, I'm on the hit list, which I
Shit, I
don't
got blocked from somebody for
you know.
following digital deceivers, so I know how it feels.
But I mean, what she said to me tonight, it's like, y'all, that is not a normal response to somebody you've never met before to just go blah 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 blah, what she said.
Yep.
Y'all,
Oh,
that
I
is
love
not.
Fallon too. Fallon's great.
I'm
She
gonna
has some
paraphrase this
anger
in a very simple.
issues. She
I
has
want
some
to
anger issues. So
What was that analog? Sorry,
I want to
sorry, Sam.
paraphrase it in a very simple manner, just to give you all something to think about. Her coming in here was basically under the premise of, bullying, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But if you really boil it down to the finite details, the entire purpose of her coming in there had nothing to do with anything else but her doing the same thing as these scammers, which is validation for her own opinions. It had
Yep.
nothing to do with protecting him or protecting people
The
that are
voice of
bullied or
reason.
anything like
I
that.
love analog.
She wanted to get validation for what she thinks, but the problem is she hides behind this cloak of compassion for everyone. She lives in an idealistic world. She does not look at everything as gray. Everything is black and white. It's binary. It's either this or this. I say so. And if you challenge that, I'm going to go ahead and show my true colors and go ballistic and turn it personal. So if you really think about it, she has the same exact problem that these scammers have. She does not want to solve any problems. She does not want to make things
He
better.
really
She just
is.
wants validation for her own skewed point of view.
You're very correct. And you are so well spoken. It makes me feel like a child when I hear you talk because damn, you got away with words.
I'd like to
I
hear
want to put
Mexican
this out there.
homie's part.
yeah, go ahead, Nick.
And I want to put this out there. I don't want a lot of people understand as far as where I come from. Not every awareness person or group. It, we don't all agree on every single thing. If I'm correct, everybody runs their own platforms how they run them. We can't. And Samuel said it earlier. Was we can't tell somebody how to run their platform. We could give advice and stuff of that nature, but we agree to disagree on certain things, and that's just the way it is. That's the truth behind the whole scenario. And I might not agree with how somebody's doing something. They might not agree how I'm doing something, but we all agree that awareness does work.
Can I just once get you to say, homie, don't play that?
Homie, don't play that.
Fuck it, I love you. You are so inappropriate, but I love you.
I'll say one thing. I'll say one thing to Mexican homie. Viva la raza.
That's
There you
what
go.
Ray Rey Mysterio says from WWE.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm a nerd.
I grew up in Southern California, so I'm basically Mexican by association.
Mexican by association.
Hey, y'all.
I love you.
Hey,
God
y'all.
bless.
I do wanna,
And you know
hey,
what?
y'all.
We're a great group of people, and it really kind of pisses me off that they make this narrative that we're fucking evil people.
Well, I'm just saying, if you are what you eat, I'm Mexican because I eat Mexican food a
I
lot.
love me some
Amen,
Taco
brother.
Bell.
Hey, y'all.
You know
I
You
what,
do
know,
though?
want to
one
Mexican
say.
homie
thing,
made a
one
really
thing that
good
I did
point.
also realize too
Mhm.
is that, you know, he doesn't know us,
No, he
any of
doesn't.
us. And the thing is that isn't that what most of the beggars and
Well, I
scammers say
mean,
too?
Yeah.
you can watch us for hours on end and get a snippet that will make any one of these boxes look bad
Right.
Oh
if
yeah.
you
They
watch us
think I
long
bully
enough.
fucking
And
all
I
the time,
mean,
and fucking bullies me.
they'll take a 5-second quote out of a 3-hour live and turn you into something that you're totally not.
Right.
I
Yeah.
Hey,
mean,
y'all. I
Well,
do want to say something kind of serious, and I kind of said this in another live, but I'm basing off something that Awareness T said tonight. I don't know if y'all remember when she said, "You wait till I drop these things, y'all are going to be shocked." Blah blah
yeah,
blah.
yeah.
I said this. I said this in another live. It was with Senior, and I've said this to Tired of Nonsense as well. Y'all, we know whenever Awareness T did their post, we know there's people that made comments, and this is what I said about it. I don't care about what comments were made about us. Okay. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, we're not stupid, but what I'm saying is don't let that kind of person divide us. Let's start anew fresh because I'm telling you that behavior is going to be hanging on anything and everything. And if you sent private messages to her, all I'm saying is just be careful. But I don't care about that kind of stuff because when I
She
told
messaged
everybody
me a few times, and
that
I never
that
responded to her.
yeah, that I don't want division. I mean that. And what I'm saying is with that behavior tonight,
Yep, you're right,
because
Kevin.
it's going to be interesting, but I know that we can all work together. And I know we're not all perfect and everything, but I can tell you right now, that was bullying and there is no place for that kind of behavior in
Yeah, she
awareness.
bullied you
Well,
from
I
the
mean,
get go.
you heard me. I said, go ahead and drop it. And, if I do any fuck shit, by all means, please call me out.
Right,
Call me
checkmate. I
out
don't open half the
immediately.
If you're
messages.
gonna be a
But
member,
the
you
other
know, one
thing,
other thing we need to do as a community, and I said this in someone else's live tonight. You have one person making videos, setting the entire crew, I mean, the entire group into an uproar. You know how we
Mm-hmm.
solve that? We ignore it.
Well,
Having
Exactly.
I mean,
lives about
it's
her, sharing
Awareness
everything
tea
she does with
berries.
everybody else, that gives her the amount of her head blows up. Like everybody's watching me, everybody's looking at the videos, people are making lives about me.
no. I mean,
Ignore it.
I've seen her videos. I didn't know her before
Yeah.
tonight.
No,
I've
I
never
know that, but I'm
seen,
just talking about the
but
She's
community at
messaged me and tagged me in a
large.
I
bunch
mean,
of
her
stuff.
videos. I've been reading the comments in her videos, and it's all an echo chamber of
Yeah.
people that's been called out or people that have a vendetta against other awareness pages.
But do you know
It's
how many
not like,
people found out about her because of the entire community reacting? One account where she's not on her main,
Yeah.
nobody knows what she knows and doesn't know.
Yeah.
Ignore it and stay focused. When
Exactly.
people were
can
correct.
I add
making
something to
videos
that?
about me,
Yeah.
I just kept going. And the
Right.
people who left me ended up coming back because I stayed focused. When we stay focused on our mission and stop
Mhm.
worrying about the people who don't like us, the detractors, all of that, we give the community what they're actually looking
well, I
for.
mean,
The
I
community doesn't
honestly
like
wish
drama.
I
Nope.
honestly wish we could go back to like we were talking about earlier. I mean, the days before, because everybody has something to add to the community. And like
Right.
I said, back then, everybody covered someone different, and everybody that watched all the different ones could add to it and help the people build, what they were talking about. Like, yeah, I seen this. Did you see them do this? And
It's
everybody worked
crazy.
together, and it was great. It was an amazing time to be on here.
But we're never going to
Yeah.
go back to that.
I
The
wish
bottom
We
line
people would
have
here,
have
to
experienced it.
agree that
the
we're going
bottom
to focus
Well,
on the scammers, the liars, the manipulators, and we're going to leave the drama
But I
outside
mean,
the
and we're
door.
gonna let analog lead the pack.
that's
well,
like, I mean, if I go in Jeff's live and I see him talking about somebody I follow, I have no problem jumping in his box and adding to the conversation.
What were
Like,
you saying, analog?
I mean, you've
and I,
seen digital where if I catch something that's relevant to something you're covering, I'll message you and say, "Hey, did you notice this?"
Correct.
Like
well,
I like working with everybody.
Me too.
well, the bottom line
I
And
here,
you
really
know what
do.
I call that? I call that overlaying awareness.
well,
Mm.
the bottom line here is that the word me needs to be taken out of the equation because there are too many instances where the individual takes precedence over the group. And if someone, sorry, I had to spit out a sunflower seed. When someone wants to be a part of a group, you are implicitly entering into a social contract to where you are willing to set aside your own opinions for the benefit of the entire group. That doesn't mean that you cannot add them, but you cannot make your own opinion the end all be all of what the group should be. And that is her root issue here, is that she has an opinion, and if the group does not agree with her opinion, she's going to use the same tactics that all these scammers use in order to try to browbeat the group into agreeing with her opinion. Until she's able to let that go and to look at this situation as part of a group think where the individual takes a back seat to the group as a whole, she's not going to be successful. And honestly, right now, what we're doing, I can tell you she's probably sitting there, half angry and half loving the fact that we're talking about her too. In my opinion, I think we should, kind of roll this up. I think a lot of opinions have been stated, but let's not give her what she wants, which is the me, me, me. Let's make it about what's best for the group, what we can do better to get back to the point where basically this was all about working together to accomplish something, and let's go.
Well, and I think that's what Digital Deceiver was saying
That's
too.
exactly what she was saying.
And I think part of that was you have to understand this is the first time that any of us have actually heard her over the months that she's posted. So tonight was just an education for everybody. But after today, when I say peace out on a post, I mean I'm done with it. However, I think it's interesting because a lot of this happened because there was a truce made and she wasn't happy about it. But that's
I
okay.
don't know anything about the truth. I missed all of it.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I'm the same way. I don't know anything about
Yeah,
it.
Same.
I know nothing about it.
Well, that's okay.
And
But
honestly, I don't know much about the beef that's been going on either. I've been ducking and dodging all. I don't want to be a part of that. Like I don't want to be a part of the drama. I don't want to be a part of any of that anymore. Like I just want to go off and do my own thing, hang out with my buddies, help out whoever needs help with any kind of project. My DM's always open, and if there's somebody y'all want to cover and you can't watch them as much, I don't do shit during the day. Let me know. I'll keep an eye on it for you. I don't mind. I don't mind working with anybody on this app. I really don't.
Yeah. Well,
You're right, Samuel.
most of you don't know me, but the fact that the nice things that you have said about me come from the fact that I've been adding to the group makes me feel good because it's not about me. It's not about what I said or, hey, look at me. I'm this, I'm that. I don't care about that. I want the group as a whole to accomplish what we're trying to do. And
Yeah.
that's what makes me feel good is the fact that I'm not being, lauded or something because I said this or I said that. I added something to the overall discussion. And that's the point here that I think everyone here is trying to make, that we need to work together commonly, not make it about our own egos, our own platforms, our own this, our own that. Be willing to set that aside and move forward and work as a large number of
I
people to
mean,
accomplish it.
there's several people that I've been in lives with, and they're like, I've been thinking about going live, and I'm like, they're like, I don't know, I'm kind of scared. I'm like, dude, there's room for everybody in awareness. Like,
Yes.
the more of us, the
absolutely.
merrier. I think that's just my personal opinion. I don't know of anybody who's shooting for like a top dog spot. There's room for everybody. everybody on this app. There's room. And you know what? If awareness ain't your thing and you want to go knit quilts that look like kittens, there's a group for you on this app that does that. No matter what you think of, there is literally a group of people for that on this app.
The place for everyone.
Everybody.
Yeah, and before I get out of here, everybody, I will say that we have worked with many people, many people, and I'm willing to work with anybody that is, wants to, work together and put the awareness out there. So, my messages, my DMs, as they say, are always open, and I'm always here for it. So I hope everybody has a blessed evening, and awareness will get a lot further if we just come together and do it together. So have a good night, everybody.
Absolutely, Mr.
You
Holman.
too.
We greatly
Have a good
appreciate
Hey,
weekend.
homie, stay safe. Thank you for coming up,
we
sir.
appreciate you and all the work you and Miss Homie do on this app too. We do. We appreciate
Yep.
you.
Tell Miss
Have a
Homie we
good
said hi.
weekend.
Every live I've seen of his has been great.
Oh yeah.
And he's seems like he's a really good dude. He really.
You know, the one thing that I want to address too, and I've been watching a lot of them, is the live streaming of these beggars and scammers. And I'm just broadening this out, and I've made suggestions in others' lives when they're live streaming. What I've been focusing and starting to not switch up, but still bring it involved into it, the enablers and the mods of these scammers' lives. If you're live streaming them correctly, may I suggest to anyone, if you live stream them and you see a mod, just tap on their name and bring up their page, not their entire page, just the brief description. That way it gets out the mods that are helping and assisting and enabling the scammers and beggars.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. And I said this the other day, and I truly believe it about how large the tent is. Those of us who actually go live and spend time talking about it, I appreciate everyone who streams, who makes videos, who reaches out to people to prevent them from being taken advantage of.
Absolutely.
We are one aspect of this larger community. And I don't know that those of us who actually go live, could do it without the people who do the things behind the scenes. It is not about us and the 20 of us that actually go live. It is about what everybody is doing to make it better for people on TikTok to not get taken advantage of. And when anybody needs it to be about them and it's only their platform and you can't look at anybody else, you can't support anybody else, you have lost it and it's be about your
Bingo.
And Ladybug down there in the comments. I see you in the comments. And I've dealt with you, and I've worked with you on a few things and talked with you a good bit, and I've never seen you do nothing but be nice and courteous to people. That's just my dealings with Ladybug. She seems like she's up and up. I've never had a problem with her, so I don't know why she got called out at all tonight. I don't know why she called Ladybug out.
I will drop down. Allforone, I adore you. Thank you so much for being host to this, for keeping us in line, for keeping us focused. I appreciate it. I am thrilled to death that I spent this time here doing this because I think it made all the points we needed it to make.
I'm glad you came up digital.
Yeah, I really am, because having another voice added into the awareness and the discussion with Aaron really showed where the awareness comes into play.
Right.
So I appreciate you, DD, very much for coming up.
Everybody have a fantastic evening. I'm not leaving. I'm just gonna be
You have a good weekend. Tell Mister I said sup.
I definitely will. Thank you, and
I
I'll
wanted
see
to add
everybody
something.
Monday morning.
I wanted to add something to what Allforone just said. One of the things that I really appreciated about this stream too was it wasn't someone from the outside, say myself, Allforone, fuck it, whomever. It wasn't any one particular person that basically put the narrative out and took the conversation where it was going. Everything that happened here tonight in terms of the awareness aspect of it was strictly out of Aaron's mouth. We basically gave him the opportunity to defend himself, and he did exactly what I knew he would do, which is show his true colors. Same thing with awareness T. Once it got a little hot, the same thing happened. Sun Tzu, never interrupt your enemy when they're in the process of making a mistake. I live by that, because when someone is wrong and someone is doing something that you know is not right, give them the space to do it, because you will not have to say.
They always say give a guilty man enough rope and he'll hang himself.
Exactly, and that's what happened here tonight with Aaron. And the conversation and everything was going well until it basically had another party interject and it became personal. And that's the whole point of what I think everybody here is trying to say, is that everything works great until you make it about yourself. And if you feel the need to make it about yourself, you're not emotionally mature enough or intellectually stable enough to be part of a group. So do us a favor, don't interject in it. Now, yes, we want everybody to be aware. We want as many people as possible to be aware of things, notified and all of that. But you have to ask yourself, if you are not capable of being involved in a conversation without interjecting your own opinions and trying to steer it to your own point of view, then please do yourself and everyone else a favor and just sit back and listen, because you might actually learn something from it.
I'm grateful that me and Jeff met up in that live this morning. I'm glad I seen him in there. Just pop my little butt up in there, and we had that conversation this morning.
Yeah.
Yep.
I didn't know most of you guys until I saw Skittle sent me a link to this, and then I came in here and somehow
Analog,
got myself
we've been
involved in
best
it.
friends for years. What are you talking about?
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Us little fries. Now, even if we want to pinpoint on anybody in that, these scammers and beggars, once we ask, like that lady or Jeff brought up the paragraph, this is the shit show. If that was any of us that said that, that second question would never even been able to be put through. We would have been blocked and kicked out of the room.
Exactly.
And on the other thing is when Analog spoke about how he was spoken to when he was in addiction and everything else. You know, some people have to be spoken to that way to be brought through to their thick skull. This lady, in my eyes, and I might be wrong for saying this, and I apologize if I am wrong for saying this, she was a helicopter mom, and she wanted clout, and that's all I want to say.
I agree.
Thank you.
Good
It wasn't
point.
compassion that got me out of my addiction, I'll tell you that much.
Well, you know, the other thing is, too, is when I made the statement in reference to her being up in a box, did you see the chat and how fast and quick he made his money to get that hotel room?
Mm-hmm. Because he got the affirmation that he wanted.
That's exactly. Thank you, Analog, because that's exactly what I was going to say.
And I'm going to call it how I see it. She went over there with the intent to, I mean, did she offer him resources? Did she offer him options? Did she turn around and say, look, I'll do some research to find you some assistance? That's the kind of thing I'm looking at in the perspectives of resources. She went over there. I don't know what conversation all took place, but the minute she got off, boom, that money started flowing in left and right, left and right, left and right.
It did. And that's the other issue. It's like you can't just take one sentence that you hear from people. You got to look at the whole thing, which is what awareness people research on. You know, I mean, I'm new and I'm trying to get even better with my research, but it was interesting. I'm about to drop down, but for everybody in the comments, thank you so much for your wonderful words. You were very kind to me and very sweet. And don't worry, I'm polite, but I'm a tough girl. But everything happened exactly the way it should have happened. So I'm kind of glad it did. So anyway,
thanks, Sydney, for coming up here.
Thanks for coming up, Cindy, and adding to the conversation.
Have a good night.
You know, the other thing, and
We
the one thing
appreciate you.
I want to run off of this, and you guys can agree to disagree with me, but in certain aspects with me, it just made me realize that I need to tighten myself up a little bit, maybe. I mean, I'm not going to say that, you know, everything that she said is correct, but it made me step back and say, yeah, I got to straighten some of my things out. I'm not going to disagree with that.
Well, I mean, you heard me agree with some of what she said was very valid.
Right.
I mean, it was valid, but it's the way she delivered it that kind of put people off a little bit. But some of it was valid.
But when I
Absolutely.
put that picture up in reference to that live about saying about the talking about the shit show, to me, honestly, I actually physically looked at it as it being focused on the host. You know, mentioning, say, for instance, this is what I think you should say. Oh, well, the shit show needs to be cleaned up. That to me was directed in a sense to the host of that live at that moment.
Oh,
You didn't
absolutely,
misinterpret it.
Ruru.
You did not.
Absolutely, Ruru. He said that.
I did misinterpret it.
No, you
No,
did not.
no, I'm
Okay.
saying I'm agreeing with what Ruru said in the comments
Right.
about he went to her immediately as soon as he saw her over there, or she went over there and saw him. I don't know how it went down over there.
I'm sorry, but it was not a total meeting by chance. I don't care how it's explained. She was entangled with him in some other way. He knew her personality, therefore he manipulated and used her to serve his means and sent her over here. I do not buy the organic argument because that was way too detailed and way too specific to be a complete chance encounter.
And look, you know, fucking and I have been doing this for a long time. And the one thing that I will say when it comes to awareness in some situations, you have to have tougher skin.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely. I've been doxxed all over this app.
Ruru says that she was his moderator.
I believe it. She knew way too much information for a chance meeting.
No, it is what it is.
Oh, it's over. I mean, it's done.
But I mean, it's amazing that when we went after him and Ray Ray, all of a sudden their mental health and I'll end it. Y'all just one second. Like, no, that I'm sorry, but you're
Yeah.
not going to play that game with me.
Well,
You're
Ray
not.
Ray was using his son as a cudgel to try and beat us all over the head, and we were literally like telling his son how great he is, how he took control of his own life, has a tattoo business, and all of that. And Ray Ray's over there saying, "Yeah, touch my kid," and, you know, just having an absolute conniption fit. It just goes to show you the delusion and the fact that Ray Ray wanted that because he can use it as a weapon to browbeat the people that are going against him.
Now, you know, here's my thing too on this. That being said, you know, my situation with Awareness T, I'm going to go this way, you go that way, you hold your platform and your page that way.
Yep.
You know, and yeah, I'll hold my platform my way. Sorry.
Well, like I told her, like I've been said from the get go, man, we're all responsible for our own platforms.
Yep. Anyone that thinks they can control another human being on the internet from afar and truly believes that is delusional from the start. So they have to have that understanding before they even try to influence them.
For one,
Yes, ma'am.
Bree blocked me because I haven't had my medicine for a week and I'm real shaky and I can't spell words out real good. So she blocked me.
Who blocked you, dear?
Bree, she's back on.
Oh.
Begging for the motel.
Are you okay?
Huh?
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, I ain't got my medicine.
May I ask why you don't have your medication?
Because I've been stranded in Illinois.
It's literally none of my business, but I mean, if we can help figure out like a way for they can't send your medication to Illinois?
No, because I'm on a
Is it
Mississippi insurance.
is it a controlled substance?
One of them is.
Oh,
Yeah, I understand. I've had that happen.
yeah, I've had that happen. But any other medication you can get transferred anywhere.
Are you going to be okay? Are you in immediate danger? Is there anything that can be done in the interim?
I have my blood pressure or my thyroid medicine.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this. Could you possibly reach out to 911 if you feel it's that severe and serious?
Yeah, I mean, you might need to go to the hospital.
Yeah, don't be afraid to ask.
Yeah, don't be afraid to go to the hospital.
Yep.
Yeah, I can't go to the hospital, but I'm real shaky without it, so.
Well, I would probably go to the hospital.
Yeah. I would too.
Please go for me.
Don't be embarrassed. Don't feel bad.
I'm going to go in the morning. I'm staying with the family. I don't want to get them up.
Okay.
Yeah, I would go in the morning, and they can write you a prescription for that state. And even if you have out of state insurance, you should be able to pick your medication up.
Well, if you feel also that you're sliding down even further conditionally and you might be at risk, I would ask that you, while I agree with you, and I think that's very noble that you don't want to, raise your family and all of that, I don't think they would be upset if you awoke them and everything if you were having a serious issue. So please, if it does get any worse, do not be afraid to do that.
Yeah,
It's not my family. It's a family that's let me stay here until my car gets fixed.
Well, I agree with Analog. I don't think they'd want to put your health at risk over a couple hours sleep.
No.
Right.
And Joanne, you've worked yourself so hard to get to where you are at. Don't let it falter.
Exactly.
I'm trying not to. I just got to get home to my babies. I'll be fine.
Yeah, you're worth more than a few hours of sleep.
Amen to that.
I've let pride get in my way on some health things, and I regret it. And the only thing I can say is look out for number one in this case because you are that important.
Right, I know that.
And if I find out that you didn't take care of yourself, I'm just going to have to drive all the way over there and turn around and take care of you.
No, I got it.
All right, dear.
But that she blocked me because of that.
Oh, I'm sorry about that, dear.
It's a terrible reason to block somebody.
That is.
Yeah.
And if they blocked you for that, they were never your friend to begin with.
Right.
In my opinion, the block button is the biggest enabler on TikTok.
Agreed.
All right. I just want to let you know.
Hey, if you run into any problems, send me a DM, please.
Okay.
Good luck, man.
Hey, Miss Sue, how are you doing, girl?
Kelly?
Granny, did you have anything you wanted to say? Kelly?
No. Well, I think I'm gonna start wrapping this live up.
But it was a great live, Jeff. Thank you for having me up, bro. I appreciate it.
Thanks for the opportunity for a stranger too.
Hey, no, wait, hold on. You're my new bestie forever.
Oh, I forgot. I'm sorry.
No, you're not still an analog from us. He's gonna have to be both our besties.
Yeah.
Deathmatch.
All right, I'm going to drop you two, and I'm going to give quick final thoughts, and then I'm going to go to bed.
Absolutely, man.
All right, take care, guys.
You too.
Good night.
All right, folks. You saw everything that took place tonight. Ooh, wait a minute. Why am I in a little crabby box? We're going to take the full screen tonight now. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming into the live. I appreciate each and every single one of you with all of my deepest heart. as I'm sitting here with a cat above my head, smacking my face with his fluffy tail. Look, the question that I would ask Awareness T, Aaron may have gotten his hotel room for the night. What about tomorrow night? What about the next night? What about, a week from now? How many people does it take for him to, or any scammer and beggar to take advantage of individuals and their good-heartedness? And the minute that I saw his mod get up into a box in his live, I knew that he was going to leave. I honestly did. I didn't say anything. I kept it to myself. And then eventually when she sat there and tried to say that I'm a multimillionaire, which secretly I am, I knew right away she was just smoke and mirrors and everything. So I am going to turn around and continue to cover Aaron. Aaron may not like it, but that is my choice and the choice of this platform. I might go live for a little bit real quick tomorrow because I do have some serious, honestly concerning information or screenshots that I have of Pretty Little Hobo and her so-called emotional support dogs. If you all weren't in her live last night, it was really interesting. Other than that, I've taken up too much time of yours. I'm going to let you all go to bed because I need to go to bed. Dee Dee was in that live last night and she even agreed with me. So I think it's time that we put her up for her falsification of the emotional support dog. Other than that, ladies and gentlemen, I am off to bed. Don't forget, yes, it was well spent. Don't forget, tomorrow night, 6:30, Super Bowl, New England Patriots versus Seattle Seahawks. Other than that, ladies and gentlemen, have a great night. Stay safe, stay warm if you're on the East Coast with this cold weather. And I will most likely see you tomorrow, maybe. Take care. Have a good night.